talk.
Right,
I think we're good.
hell yeah, we are.
We in here like
I
swimwear.
let's see.
Welcome to our retro throwback podcast.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah, before I hit start recording. There's a couple new fun things about this room that I got to show off probably next week when I get them all sorted up. But one thing is I did get a new desk though as part of this. It's a lot smaller, so my tower's on the floor again. But I've also had to do the well, not on the floor directly. I actually got a little tower stand thing for it. So
That's fair.
yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't the desk before because it was a 80-inch desk.
Yep.
So I was able to have all my monitors flat, horizontal, and do all that. But now I have I had to go vertical on this side. So, which actually I don't mind.
I'm just having a vertical monitor, honestly.
I like the everything laid out because it gives especially when you have like really cool wallpaper, looks sick, just like super out like that. But it is kind of nice to have one vertical monitor, have like OBS and Discord just like on top of each other, just like able to reference real quick. What are your David? I feel like you hate them, but what are your thoughts on those ultra wide monitors?
I hate them. Yeah. I don't see a fucking point to them at fucking all, honestly. An ultra wide monitor is a monitor for someone that's afraid to have two monitors.
Ultra wide monitors are cool for like ARPGs and stuff. It's about the only application I can see for it.
You know what? I take that back. There is one other application, Met Games.
Flight sims.
Flight Sims. There's three applications.
Right, yeah, like Truck Simulator. Hell yeah. I want.
Oh, why isn't that on the list? Who's gonna recommend it?
I want a setup where I can have like a dual monitor setup and then have the extra monitor like up here. You know what I mean?
Same. That's
I tried that for a little bit. I actually hated it after a while because the neck starts to get annoyed craning up to look at that second or the third monitor up there.
Well, see, a lot of the times I'm doing this number right here.
Oh,
fair.
Hell yeah.
All right, so you might not mind it too much.
I've wanted
So that's why I like having the horizontal off to the side, because for like, a lot of like text heavy shit, I just throw it over there, scroll through like a newspaper, and then go back to what I'm doing.
Well, it's because it's like I think I get it because whenever I see Moist Critical do his stuff, like whenever he's streaming, he'll have like he'll always default like open tabs on that monitor up there to kind of reference things before he goes up there. It's kind of like the out of the way monitor that like, all right, if I need to like open something and check it out and then drag it over to this one. But I mean that's the dream. Like like a dream setup would be like try monitor and then like one extra one up here, just like throw stuff on. It's like the extra tabs in the browser. I'm just like, no, just throw it up there. We'll leave it up there for a while.
Yeah, the ones you don't want people to see.
Yeah, all those crazy hentai tabs.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to the Blue Reach Podcast, episode number 280. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. We're streaming in 720, 30 frames. Glorious. Yeah, so we're doing this hopefully until this next week. I'm probably going to literally, as soon as I'm done with this podcast, go tell the partner, hey, let's go ahead and just pull the trigger on that internet now.
Hey, wake up. We need better internet.
I know she knows. Like I said, she knows. She was already like ready for this to like, all right, let's get ready because her and I are both doing separate. She has T-Mobile. I have Verizon. We both have the home internet plans, which obviously useless. Right? So we're gonna consolidate one, and then I was already ready to consolidate the Verizon one because I still have that really nice modem router. So, but anyway, setup is going kind of sort of. Give a little bit of a preview. So. I got some monitors. It's nice to have the books with it. Like I feel like I've amassed a really nice book collection that I feel like has never been a part of my nerdum. So it's been nice to add that into a loop here. Look, David, you gotta do it. You gotta do it, David. You gotta do it.
Yeah, but they're all still in plastic. You haven't read them. Come on.
No,
Yeah.
because he is a man of culture and reads them digitally, so he can leave those pristine.
No, that one's open.
Oh.
And be careful with those. I've heard from people that you want to display them sideways because the stitching is bad for it. It's so heavy it'll fall out from the spine.
Good.
Really?
I've just done Reddit from people, so that people.
You know, that makes sense because everyone I see that has it in the background of their videos always has it that way.
Yeah,
That doesn't look as nice though.
It doesn't.
I agree, but
The way I see it, you know what? If they look bad, I'll glue them back together and we'll get them digitally. That's fine.
no. Thankfully, you haven't read most of them, so they're all still pressed hard and sealed, so they should be
Well,
fine.
but either way, so and here's the thing. So either way, they would be pressed sealed or they would be pressed pretty good. I had this revelation. So when the girlfriend and I were fixing up this room, I kind of had an moment. She was like, "What happened?" I'm like, I told her the backstory, and look, if you look at the shelf, there is literally room for one last one.
Oh,
I was like, that's so poetic and so sad at the same time. So, yeah, there's room for literally 15, maybe a 16 epilogue if we had it, but it'll be pressed. I'm not too worried about that because they are pressed pretty soundly toward each other, so I'm not worried about that. But they look so good like that though. I've always thought
Yeah,
that.
they
So,
look great.
she had a really cool idea. I don't know if you could tell back there, the switch shelf. Obviously we went through this row, right? But the these are IKEA shelves, and they're pretty deep, obviously, right? You can see the Berserk books like still have a little bit of spot there. So she had an idea to like put like a piece of wood slab there to raise a second wave of Switch games behind one another. So you see these are, but because remember how the Switch games are like all uniform and how they're like said, I think there's like only a small handful that are weird. That like they're center text. Everything else is like on the top, like pretty generic, but you can see reading from that top corner. So you can see all the games still pretty solidly around there as that's going on.
see, I could never go back to actual like regular bookshelves because I have the wire shelving, which you can get a lot of optimized space out of it if you measure it to the actual cases. The only downside is that for actually like Switch games and whatnot, you have to put usually like a what I do is I get like a construction paper and put it basically as a filter layer on there so they don't fall through. But I could never go back to regular bookshelves for that.
These are adjustable though, so there are still a bunch of pegs there, and you can still order extra shelves on IKEA's website. So I can add a bunch of shelves on these things. So I was thinking about
Okay, that's not terrible then. Yeah.
So I mean, I would show it if I could, but yeah, like there's pegs all along this wall right here, so I can make a shelf this big if I want, this big, or I can have the full length on there.
Because that's the thing is I used to hate having my shit sideways like you have on some of those layers, and that's why I switched to those wired ones.
Yeah. So the plan
you can-
is once I like settle in, probably later this year, probably maybe around like summer, once I get enough, everything's paid off in that, I want to get shelves and I want to like add enough so that way these are just single row layers.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's the plan. But these shelves just look so good. Like having everything.
They do look clean. I will
Having
say.
everything all at once, like my movies are right there, all my games. They can have all my collectibles out like too. So the only thing that sucks is the helmet wall had to get relegated to like right beside me now. So that's not gonna be in the background anymore. Also, the worst part about the room, unfortunately, is that I only have room for 2 of the arcade 1-ups. I might be able to wiggle some room, so like a part of me wants to move this desk to that wall, but as I've been watching it, I was testing this angle out. I kind of like this angle. The angle is actually kind of nice.
It's a clean angle.
Yeah. So
It's a great angle, dude.
thank you.
I mean, it's not great. It's not a Kurt angle, but
Well, but yeah, I want to put it like on this wall and then see if I can like wiggle them. But unfortunately, it's gonna be one of those like, whenever we do move into a bigger home and upgrade in a couple of years, I have claimed there are no basements in New Mexico, but I was like, if there we were finding one with a basement, and that's my spot. Like I want everything down there. But yeah, so I have Simpsons right there. I'm thinking of either putting Ridge Racer. Well, Ridge Racer's here right now. I wonder if I put this one or NBA Jam here. I'm not sure.
then you keep one in the living room.
That's what the kind of plan is, which is unfortunate because we were kind of trying to go for like a minimalist look. We were like, let's put all of our shit in her library or my
Bedroom,
game room,
dude.
like those
There
are
you
the
go.
nerd caves, and everything else looks like an adult. You know, like.
Fair.
But she did have the idea that we should put the arcade in the kitchen to make it look like one of those like you know what I'm saying, like not like
Yeah.
like a dining room almost, so it looks like a like a Pizza Hut
Kind
almost.
of
You know,
like entertainment. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, that vibe where it's like you go in there for the dining room and then there's like an arcade machine right there. I kind of
Yeah,
fuck with
come on.
Have
that.
your pizza while you're at the machine.
Also, the coolest thing though is with this desk is it is a
Nice. I want
Ah.
a standing desk so bad.
I've been wanting one for a long time just because I feel like I am gonna be more productive if with the signing desk. I just have to get the cords right so that I can make sure everything properly extends. But I was super excited for this desk to get there, so that's good. Any other fun tidbits about this place? Well, we will see more appearances from multiple more cats now. So there are three new feline faces that will be entering into the dojo.
How has the combination of the cats been going?
So today we've had them separate, which is unfortunate because like I've had my cats with us in the bedroom, and poor Juice is getting the cabin fever. He's like he's going through a
Aw.
depressed phase right now where he's just like lays down. He can't have the zoomies because he has like he'll run 2 steps, stop, and go 2 steps that way.
Poor baby.
Yeah, and he just like lays on the ground, just lays in the bed, just like staring off. And then her cats are used to sleeping with her, so they've been relegated to the living room. So they've been crying a little bit trying to get in. But then we'll open the door a little bit, and they'll see Juice there, and they'll look and they stare at each other, and then one of them will hiss and walk away. So we've been doing that. I actually bought, and it came in the day. I bought a doggy door, like a doggy gate. So we've been letting them stare at each other a little bit. So as of today, they're getting a lot more FaceTime with each other. Juice and Juice and Aries. Aries comes by. They're like Aries and Juice like stare at each other. They both hissed, and they stare at each other. Then one of them goes meow. The other goes meow. They just stare at each other now. And Tess out of it. Tess has no part of it. She's like, I'm out. I'm sitting on the bed.
She's
and
too old to care.
yeah, I'm saying that Juice is kind of like her bodyguard right now. She's like, hey, orange one, figure that shit out. I'm chilling. So I was telling them before the podcast started that I graded my stuff early, so I have a lot of students texting me like, how can I get my grade up? I'm like, you should have done your work. We had a week and a half. This is kind of on you. I'm not stressed. Yeah, so the cats have been a bit of a thing. I'm hoping by next week we can start introducing them. The thing is to maybe get them for about a week and see if they can recognize each other now, because I would like to start integrating them. I just do still worry because hers do like to still go inside and outside, and my cats will die.
I mean, Orange seemed fine the one time.
Yeah, but her cats know how to come back home. Mine
Ah,
have zero idea. Anything else? Nope. I'm just ready for this all to be wrapped up because I'm
yeah.
I'm like a fucking coke fiend. I want to play Marvel Rivals so fucking bad, and we just have. Oh, here's a fun story. So in December, she bought a couch. Right. All right. Cool. We ordered the couch. She got it from my place. They had to make an order. Cool. She gets a call like 2 weeks ago. Hey, we can't get you your couch for a little while because a plane crashed in our building.
What? What the fuck?
And she's like, huh. Okay.
I mean, I guess that's a legit reason, but god fucking damn.
She wants to laugh about it. She feels guilty about laughing about it because she's like, I wonder if everything okay. And she found out last night 2 people died.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, 2 people died and 8 were hospitalized.
Oh.
So,
Holy fuck.
but I mean, you can't help but like not laugh at that. Like,
Because what the fuck are the
you
odds?
get a
Jesus
call that a
Christ.
plane crashed in your building, so you can't get your couch on time. You know, like that's you can't not laugh at that.
Yeah, well, that's not my problem, bud. When's my fucking
I told
couch
her.
here?
I told her she was like, I really wanted to ask how long it would take, but I didn't. And I was like, you should ask if there's a refund.
free
She's like,
shipping?
yeah. Hey, can I speak to your manager? Oh, sorry, they died.
They were one of the two.
No, she did ask. She's like, I wonder. Like,
fuck.
she's like, I feel bad, but like, if it doesn't come here in a month, I'm gonna ask for a refund or something. I'm like, yeah, we don't.
100%.
No, you ask for like, look, it's fine as long as we get a piece of the plane. I want a little trophy to go with that.
Hey, I do.
Black box.
I do not to dark humor or spin. Do you want to give a shout out to my California homies? Shit's on fire. I do feel bad. One of my buddies, the buddy I visit, I stay with most of the time out there, his place is probably gonna get fucked. It's still on the verge. I've been checking in daily with him, or not with him, but checking in daily on his place. I called him a couple days ago. Shouts to him. He does. He had to evacuate. Got his family in a hotel. His grandma picked a hotel nearby, which is unfortunate. He was like, "You should have picked someone farther." They were on the 10th floor of the hotel, too, which is unfortunate. But then he tells me, he's like, "Bro, I'm like 79 days sober." I'm like, "Good for you." And he's like, "I really don't want to be right now." I'm like, "That's understandable." Like, I get that 100%. It's probably best that you are sober because right now is probably the time you need to be. But I mean, like, shouts to you. Like that. This is the time for you to like not. If any time for you to crack is this, and if you're not, kudos, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucked out there right now. So, shouts to y'all out there. Hope you're doing okay, and hope this shit stops. It's literally the worst. Watching videos on that, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw a post on Reddit where someone's like, dude, and they asked, and everyone was kind. Like, it was not like a bad threat, but someone's like, hey, I think they posted like an r/Los Angeles, and I said, me and my family are planning a trip out there for months. Is it okay to go there, or should we just not? And everyone's like, I mean, like, you can, especially in more southern LA. There's just a really pessimistic vibe in LA right now, obviously. So, but they said you should just go to San Diego right now.
It's just honestly probably not ideal.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, like it sucks, but definitely go to San Diego instead because vibes not good right now. There is no good vibes right now in LA. So, oof. And then shouts to Kyle. Kyle is safe. He's kind of stuck in the middle of two fires right now, though.
Good.
Well, that's not good. Stuck between two fires is not fun, but
I mean, it could be worse. You could have a plane hit his building, so.
Yeah, or maybe 3 fires.
I did, and I say that because I did ask her. I was like, "Is that plant based in California? In which case, is that building okay currently?" I think it was based in California, but it was in a different area of California.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, imagine that, dude.
Fucking hell.
Right. Yeah, that's been my story. How have you all been the last couple weeks?
Fucking exhausted. Microsoft announced at the beginning of the year that they're sunsetting a bunch of fucking services that we use at work. So on top of Windows 10 going away, on top of all those services going away, it's now also patch week, and I had the flu fucking last week. So I've just been fucking nonstop and exhausted.
Can you stop your washing machine?
No, I can't. So that washing machine, as Adrian alluded to, we had a power outage today, and I have a UPS, which I've learned through this incident lasts about 20 minutes. Not an insignificant amount of time. But the wife was not able to get to turning off the computer safely in time. And so when I got home and was able to test booting it back up from my home server, it is now the noise that you hear because one fan is perpetually trying to rev up to get caught up with the others. And I was talking about it with the guys before the podcast started. I think what I'll probably end up doing temporarily is because it's fucking winter and it's been averaging 10 degrees here. I'll probably just go ahead and pop that fan out of there and see if it really has that much of an impact on the thermals. And if not, I'll let that slide for a little bit. But it's tax season, so I might just end up biting the bullet and buying a brand new case and fan set anyways. Really didn't want to do that right away, but I think necessity might call for it. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice. Hopefully.
Yeah, other than that, been fucking exhausted. I need Microsoft to stop sunsetting shit because finance hates spending money and they don't want me to spend money fixing things.
Fair. Kels, how about you?
Been good. Not a whole lot of excitement here. This weekend, there's gonna be some excitement. Have a big tournament coming up, big card tournament. So
Oh, for the Star Wars still?
yeah, so it's our version of it might be the same size or maybe bigger than like RCQs for Magic.
Oh, okay.
The planetary qualifiers for Star Wars, they're 120 player cap. So it's usually 100 plus people. But I'm
That's a
driving
hardy.
down
Yeah.
yeah, driving down to Dallas for that. It's 7-round Swiss top cut, top 8 top cut, and then from
Mhm.
there. Last time I did pretty good, went 4-2, bubbled out. So I'm hoping this time I can make it through. Rep. I barely missed out being on a stream match last time, so I'm really hoping I get to do that. That'd be really cool.
God, don't you hate that when it's just like that one? You're like, fucker.
Dude, I was so bummed too. Well, okay. I was doing good. I was 4-1, and someone else got the stream match. I was like, well, fuck me. Okay. I was like, all right, well, I need to win this next one, and I'll get it. And I lost. So I'm like, well, not getting it now.
Yeah, I've had that so many times. Where I'm like, but you knew ahead of time that you would be on stream next if you won.
It was one of those things like it was me or that guy, and then they just happened to get it
But
just because the spot they were in.
oh, so it wasn't like if you won one more, you would have been on the stream, or is what you're saying, or
Well, if I would have won out, I would have. Yeah,
did you knew that ahead of
but
time?
because I would have made it into the top cut. Yeah.
Okay, because there are times where it's either I miss out on playing someone, or I miss out on a stream match, but I didn't know it until afterwards. So I'm like, oh fuck! If I knew that, I would have tried a lot harder. Like I tell myself that all the and I'm like, in theory, I should just try as hard as I can the entire way. But no, dude. Like I'm just chilling. I'm vibing, dude.
Yeah, no, like I usually am, but I'm also super competitive. So I try to make it like clear in my head, like, okay, we're at weeklies. This is casual. We're just
Yeah.
having fun. We're vibing. And then whenever I'm there, I'm like, all right, I'm in the mode. I'm
Right.
going for the kill. I'm looking for what's going to win me the game, least amount of turns possible. Blah blah blah. So I was in the zone. I expect to be in the
Auto
zone
zone.
this time. Yeah. Yeah. So this past week, it's just been grinding that, playing on online platforms, playing it physical whenever possible. So
And playing
it's just
rivals.
been, yeah, exactly,
I'm-
and playing rivals in between.
I need a fucking TCG to get into.
I thought you were gonna
really
say I
do.
need a hobby. I don't know why. It's just like the way you sized it.
I mean, not
I need
entirely
a
off.
hobby.
I really do because like I fucking miss TCG so much, and I thought about getting to Star Wars one, but I don't give a fuck about Star Wars.
That's
So
the big
it's-
thing about it. If you're not into it, you're gonna miss out on like 50% of what makes it so good, and then like the other half is the mechanics, of course. But
Because that's the
it's hard to
thing.
get
And,
attached to something that you're just not attached to. And
and like I've been playing the fuck out of TCG Pocket. I'm at almost 500 wins on that, so you know I've been fucking grinding that quite a bit. But like it's made me almost want to try playing the regular card game because you can play it technically for free, because that's part of the reason they made the Pocket is they made it the regular version of the online game so free friendly that you almost never have to spend money on it. And so it's had me curious about trying it. But it's the fact that it's like, I mean, I kind of like it, but I hate the fucking coin flip. I hate having RNG on top of RNG. That's why I loved Magic. That's why I love Force of Will. But I can't ever touch fucking Magic the Gathering again with all the infinite bullshit that Wizards of the Coast keeps fucking doing. And Force of Will doesn't have any digital means to play the game because the community is not The community's lazy. I'll just fucking say it. The community has no interest in trying to support the game digitally because
That's
it
what I thought
barely
was crazy
exists.
about Star Wars. Like within like not even a full month of the game launching, which was last March, they had like an online platform fully ready, and it's still janky to this day. They take a while to update. Some of the updates don't work. Some of the cards still don't work to this day, but
Mm,
it is a way to play online. And also, people have already modded it into a tabletop simulator as well.
fucking A. And also the art of the fucking video game TCG is borderline dead.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
so weird.
fucking wild.
Yeah, like so even Magic Arena is a weird one because like it's not on consoles yet. It's only PC and
No.
mobile.
It was supposed to be on consoles last year.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on
Um,
console like a few years ago, I believe, because I remember I think it was in like 2021 or two they were like talking about
They
it. But
announced
yeah,
it back then for it, but last year was supposed to be the year they finally did it. But basically, whoever was running the video game division of Hasbro, basically said, we make enough money on PC. What the fuck does it matter putting it on console?"
it would make ridiculous amounts of money on console.
What the fuck? Again, the fucking weird bullshit logic that fucking Hasbro has. I'm so sick of fucking WotC being owned by Hasbro because Jesus Christ, they have done everything possible to speedrun destroying their fucking IPs.
Well, see, the thing is, too, like I always loved playing Magic on Xbox Arcade. Like I believe it was
Yeah,
on
the Duels
Xbox
of the
Live
Planeswalker
Arcade.
games are
Yeah.
phenomenal.
And then after that, they had like Magic 2019, and then they had like yearly releases until they
Yeah.
finally got up to what's now Magic Arena. And I always loved playing those old ones. I played with a bunch of buddies like anytime a new one came out. It was a lot of fun.
And even Arena was not a terrible way to play the
No.
game digitally. If you wanted an official way, I usually mostly just use Cockatrice, but I did try for a little while to play on Arena competitively, and I did all right. I bit the bullet and did a couple drafting tournaments, and
Yeah,
then
me too.
was able to basically earn enough from playing the game that I didn't have to put any more money into it after that.
Yep.
But it's kind of one of those things where it's like, again, I can't fucking touch it. I refuse to. My morals won't fucking let me touch it, which sucks because this is also the year the Final Fantasy set comes out, and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
That's true. I forgot about that.
But I like, there's no other alternatives, and I'm fucking frustrated because like in my local community, the only games being played is basically Magic, and some areas are playing Lorcana. I don't want to fucking give Disney money either. Like that's, oh no, one shitty company to another. What fucking difference does it make? And so it's like, what fucking option is there? And it's so wild. We went from like the golden era of the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance of just troves upon troves of fucking video game TCGs
Yeah, it is weird.
to nowadays you maybe get one or two fucking indie TCGs. Like there's that what the fuck is it called? The CL on something bullshit that came. Oh, but that one falls in the trope of like a lot of other ones where it's like, it's a roguelike deck builder. That's all we have now is roguelike deck builders.
We had Inscription.
No.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was that one a roguelike?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And look, I get the irony of someone that competitively played drafting formats hating roguelikes. I get the irony of it. But however, I want an actual TCG experience. That's fucking all I want. It's just a good TCG experience, and no one is giving an option for me right now. And I hate it because I fucking love TCGs.
Same, and that's I've been kind of looking for a solid second one to play because like Pocket's been kind of fulfilling that for me. I played Altered, but the scene here, like my local shop, they're playing it. There's some just really there's some people I just don't want to fucking play with, so it's kind of like been pushing me away from doing that. And just
And
fully
even-
leaning into Star Wars.
Because like even the indie ones, MetaZoo already folded, and Flesh and Blood has basically turned into being a cash grab at this point, which is fucking shitty. Because I really hoped Flesh and Blood was gonna actually stay strong and be like a solid product, but they've turned into a cash grab. So there's no fucking good alternatives.
Make one, David.
No. I want Force of Will. The problem, I want Force of Will. No, there's no community locally for Force of Will, and there's no digital way to play it. So the one card game I would commit a lot of time to doesn't fucking exist in my area and doesn't exist digitally. So I'm fucked on all fronts, and I don't. Again, I'll never go back to Magic. It's so fucking frustrating. I hate it all.
Fair.
I feel like there was one I seen that I feel like was right up your alley. I forget what it was called though. Grand Archive. That one's kind of like
Yeah.
a weeaboo type card game. I feel like that would be all your type of shit.
Yeah, there's that one. There's Weiss Schwartz, which we've been slowly getting some US sets for, which I found out. Here's a weird, fascinating rabbit hole. One, I didn't realize how fucking old Weiss Schwartz was.
Yeah.
And two, the reason I didn't realize how old it was is because I've been going through and on the home server getting a master database of a bunch of ROMs and ISOs set up. And I'm up to, where is my ROM instance? 7,501 ROMs and ISOs on the server. And there's PSP games for Weiss Schwartz. And that's fascinating to me that Weiss Schwartz has been around that fucking long, that they had 3 fucking releases on PSP. Why have those not had fan translations? Also, a fascinating thing I found on PSP, apparently the Nendroid company teamed up with, I think it was Guts, who does a lot of like kind of niche RPG series games. And they went ahead and made 2 Nandroid RPGs that basically just serve as like weird, massive hyper crossover games. So like there's one that's like a crossover of Haruhi Suzumiya, fucking Valkyria Chronicles, Evangelion, and a couple other fucking IPs that I can't think of off the top of my head. And then there's a second one where it's another weird fucking blender of IPs in this big RPG. And it's like, where the fuck are the fan translations for that shit? That's a fucking wild time I want.
Shout out to that dog.
Hell yeah.
All right. So, what did we get, David? What did you get? I know you're itching to show something.
Hell yeah! I had to double check. So I got a lot of Japanese games, not a lot, but a lot of items. 2 of them I'm selling. The 2 that I'm selling is Japanese Brain Games 2 for PS2 or for PSP, and then I got this Rurouni Kenshin fighting game on PSP that I'm also going to be selling because unfortunately I can't justify enjoying Kenshin anymore because the creator is a convicted pedophile. Fucking A. I'm so pissed.
Do you have any Gaiman stuff?
Yeah, he's getting rid of that.
Jesus Christ, that's sadly.
Or
I think
like
the,
Neil Diamond, right?
Yeah.
I think the wife has a signed copy of Sandman, which is unfortunate.
No!
Dude,
She has to burn it now.
Yeah.
Just to atone.
Which is unfortunate because that's not the second time that's happened because she also has a signed poster for Repo the Genetic Opera from the creator, and he's also a major fucking sex pest.
David, you haven't signed anything for her, have you?
No.
All right, we're good.
Also, thankfully, I think the only things I have signed from air quote celebrities is I have a wrestler Hamada's autograph, and I have legendary referee Earl Hebner's autograph. But those are the only autographs I have.
Nice.
Because I got them at a TNA event. There's actually, this was back in like fucking 07. There's a picture of me and AJ Styles and a buddy of mine in that as well, somewhere around here. Seeing AJ Styles so babyface is so weird to go back to after seeing him now in WWF. Well, I mean, you don't see him now because he's perpetually fucking injured. But, so then, and also in the Japanese Lord one, I'm actually keeping Namco Museum Collection. I'm going to keep that one because most of the games you don't fucking need text for anyways because it's fucking Galaga and Pac-Man, so who cares? And then Monster Hunter Feline Village G. So now with this, I officially have every single Japanese exclusive Monster Hunter game
Oh,
on
yeah.
PSP. So I can say I'm a true Monster Hunter fan now. And then I also got some more eBay goodies for dirt cheap. I managed to snag this for $3. Naruto Ultimate Ninja 3 completed box. So now I have all the PS2 Naruto games. Also managed to snag this for only a few bucks. Tales of Arise. I feel like this is just getting flash sold for the Xbox version.
Yeah,
Uh,
it didn't sell that well.
Which is fascinating because this is one of the few Smart Deliver games that the Xbox Series X version is actually on disc.
So, speaking of, and we'll probably talk about it in news before I forget, because are we talking about the Xbox upcoming direct or no?
I have like general like upcoming announcements as like a general topic.
Okay, so that's on there, so we'll talk about that. I'll remember. Okay. Anything else, David?
Yes, I got a couple more things. And then I got the Nexamon and Nexamon whatever the fuck Extinction. I had free money from work to use on Amazon, so I said fuck it, why not? And then lastly, the last bit of my Birthmas gifts for my partner, because she knows me well. We got this big, beautiful near works here. We got this
Hell yeah.
beautiful
Do I have
collection.
that somewhere accessible. No, I have that somewhere. I don't know where exactly, but yeah, that's a solid one.
And then I got Play Nice, the Jason Schreier book about Blizzard.
I have that somewhere.
So now I can go through and read that at some point soon. And then lastly, this is a fucking banger. My partner imported this one for me here. And it is the visual works and behind the scenes for the creation of Serial Experiments Lane. This is fucking wild to see. So much really cool artwork. It has the actual like planning documents. I mean, it's all in fucking Japanese, but just seeing a lot of the intent and the concept sketches for a lot of things in the series alone is fucking worth it. But have this now. Super excited for that. Think that is it. Double checking around. Yeah, that's it for the things.
Nice. Kels?
Yeah, so got some comic books.
Hell yeah!
We got Redcoat. So the interesting thing about all these Ghost Machine comics is we're kind of reaching the end of that. Like, they're kind of all reaching like their 10-issue run. So we're kind of like seeing the story fully develop and getting it hit in like the bigger arcs. And now we're seeing Junkyard Joe come back, which I'm super stoked on.
Oh, yeah.
We have he hasn't come back since the Ghost Machine imprint started, so it's really cool to see his reintroduction to it.
Good shit. Good shit. Crap, gotta
Ultimate
pee.
Black Panther. The new Ultimates, we have like an introduction to the new Guardians, which is really interesting to see. Star-Lord, he's bald as shit, and we have Nebula. We have Cosmo, and I don't know who this person front and center is, so may read it and see. We have Black Panther versus Moon Knight in this one.
Nice.
I've seen a few spoilers for this one. I need to finish reading it. It looks really cool. We don't know who the Moon Knight is yet, who the Avatar is for Khonshu, so
Interesting.
it'll be really interesting to see who it is in this universe.
Oh, I have something you'd want to see. Where would it be at? Fuck.
Then we have the Absolute run. Absolute Wonder Woman, really good. Been loving it so far. Still haven't read Superman and Batman yet, but the covers look pretty.
Is that a single run or?
No, this is like their new. It's kind of like their equivalent to what Marvel's Ultimate line is. It's kind of like a reinvention, new story, new telling of the origin stories and everything.
Nice up. Oh shit. My bad.
I guess
Add back if you're still in chat. My bad. Sorry, Kels.
Oh, you're all good.
So
think
it's
at
the
some point-
Superman and Batman is its own story.
So it's own universe. It's the Absolute universe, and it's kind of like a retelling of the classic story. So like Batman, his family isn't rich. He doesn't have money. Superman, I forget what he doesn't land in Kansas. I think he lands in Brazil instead.
Hell yeah.
And Wonder Woman, she isn't raised on Themyscira. She's raised in hell by Cersei.
Is there any story of Superman just landing in the fucking ocean like it probably happened?
He just becomes Aquaman.
Yeah. He just takes out Aquaman when he flies down, when his just comes bulleting down.
Fucking DC Elseworlds presents fucking
Right.
What If Superman Was Aquaman?
Yeah, no, this is an absolute run. I haven't, like I said, I haven't read Batman Superman yet, but this Wonder Woman one's really good. And I'm not like a Wonder Woman guy at all, but it's been super cool so far.
I've heard the
badass.
Batman ones are fucking unhinged, honestly.
It looks unhinged. Like, I mean, here's the art. Like, they're always making him like a Hulk, like a behemoth, just
Hell
fucking
yeah.
brutalizing people. It's like, oh yeah, this Batman may not kill you, but you're losing an arm or a leg in the process. Definitely getting maimed.
Hell yeah.
What'd you get, Adrian?
I'm trying to see.
A New Home.
Yeah.
True.
You see these shelves?
I got
So many notches on them.
I got something that you would like to see, Kels, but I wonder where the fuck I put it
Ooh.
now. That's the thing, nothing's organized, so I can't tell where it's at. That's not it. I think I got it in late. I'll just say it if I can't find it next like 5 seconds. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it for next week. I got I forget what run it's called, but I guess like the latest Moon Knight run. It's the one where the cover is Moon Knight with a film clapper in front of him. I think his name starts with an A or something. That the guy who made it is.
I was gonna say Mark Ellis because he has a really big run.
I think it's the most recent one because I called my friend to ask him, and he was pretty hyped. He said that's like the best one. I think
Well,
it's
the most recent one is Vengeance of the Moon Knight, and that just ended, and it ran into Fist of Khonshu, is what the current run is.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's it. I wish I could just. I'll see if I can find it for next week. But yeah, I think it's the artist's name or the author's name starts with an A, if I can recall correctly. But anywho. I did get a gift from the girlfriend that came in late. She got me that. And actually
nice.
signed too.
Good
Did you see
shit.
that he was hawking some AI shit?
No, was he? God
Gross.
damn it. All right, well, yeet. No. David, were you talking about your AI thing that you wanted to talk about today, or the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can talk about it real quick. So, this is.
Let's save it for.
Oh yeah, we'll save it for after what we played.
Yeah, that way we can talk
All
about it
right.
for a little bit.
Speaking of which, Adrian, what'd you play?
No, we're not done yet.
Oh, we're not done. You got more shit to show?
Yeah. I keep trying to order this and it keeps selling out every time I do. Like, I got it Amazon and then they would say, oh, the order, we didn't have enough orders or whatever. Finally got this. It's not exactly the exact one I wanted, but that's fine. So I got a little pod that is also a drink holder.
Yes, I saw those making the rounds. I almost
Yeah.
got one.
This thing is super cool. So it's very cheap, but love it. It's amazing. This
Speaking of
thing,
which, did you see the indie beer that's being made and officially licensed for Nier?
no, but every time I see that, I'm like, I want to buy it, but it's too expensive.
Yeah, it's like fucking $80 for 3 beers and
Hell yeah,
2
brother.
glasses.
So whenever we all meet,
But the
whenever we
beers
all
were
meet-
also but the beers were also aged to the sound of the Nier soundtrack. So
Perfect.
if we ever meet in person, do a Games Gone By on Nier, that's we'll buy it. We'll get it done.
Crack open the finest Nier beer.
Yeah. So this thing I got went on a fucking whole adventure. It was gonna go to my old apartment. For some reason, it got missent and sent up north about an hour and a half.
the fuck?
And then it came back. It went to my old apartment, in which case it had to get forwarded and go here. And it only took very, very, very minor damage, luckily. But it finally showed up here.
Minor
this
damage.
my Alan Wake 2 collector's edition.
Hell yeah.
The only
That
minor,
does look slick for a box,
the
honestly.
only minor damage is up here. That's
Yeah.
it is what it is.
At least it's not on any art part.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that thing took a whole ordeal. In which case, I was worried. I was like, I hope it doesn't get to that point where they just send it back, and in which case, I'm going to fucking
Cry.
message limited run, and God help me on that. But yeah, I got that. Is there anything else I got? Oh, David's gonna hate this. David's gonna absolutely.
I like hating things.
Yeah, you're gonna get really mad at me about this. And I don't give a shit. Because I feel justified. I got a very, very fancy toy financed over a good amount of months. Because I'm on a lot of it's work related.
Ritalin.
It's work related. But David, unfortunately, I did invest into another MacBook.
Here's the thing.
Okay, cool. I didn't think he's gonna
If you actually hadn't said MacBook and specifically said like the Mac Minis, I actually would have been perfectly okay. Because the cruelest irony right now, if you get the M4 Mac Mini, that is actually the best computer for its price. You actually can't build a computer that performs better than the M4 Mac Mini currently for its current price.
I have an M4
I
MacBook
almost
Pro.
actually bought one.
I
The
love
MacBook Pros are
Mac
overpriced, but
But
the Mac
it's
Minis-
M4 MacBook Pro. I needed it to take to work too.
You know what? It's not a Windows computer, so it's fine. I am at that stage now where I still think that Mac is basically just why don't you fucking grow up and use Linux? But at the end of the day, at least it's on Windows, so I don't
it's
care.
ease.
Linux is easy now.
Nah, I'm good.
Don't be basic.
No, it's the application suite on Mac that kind of got me.
No, that's legitimately fair. 100%.
So I've realized now I've gotten a new MacBook every 7 years, which is really funny. But my other MacBook had to go to the Apple Store to get reformatted because I guess the OS just jumbled up somehow, some way. I guess probably died on an install or something. So I had to go in, they flashed it, and then got it all reset. But as I was going around there, I was like looking at the MacBook Pros, and their M4s are really good. MacBook Pros, yes, they'll be overpriced, and the Mac Minis were looking pretty solid. But I still have my iMac from 2017. It's still rocking fine, so I don't need to invest into a MacBook or a Mac Mini.
No, what you do is you put Linux on it, and then you give it a whole new lease on life.
Or I just get a MacBook Pro because it was solid. But yeah, no, I got into that. I was kind of iffy on it, but I figured especially because of work with the kids editing films now and all that, I kind of want to have a pretty quick, a really quick MacBook to like work through a bunch of stuff to show them, So if they're struggling on DaVinci on a computer, I can load up the MacBook and it loads DaVinci in a fucking flash. Like it's amazing. And I could pop in and help them out with that really quick. So I was just finding it with
does
that.
on Linux. I thought you were using Final Cut, and I was going to give you some slack. I will admit,
no.
Final Cut is a phenomenal piece of software.
Final Cut, I have. Well, I mean, I also have Final Cut on the Mac, but the studio standards are Premiere or DaVinci, and I have adamantly been against Premiere. Well, our program or our district does not support Premiere anymore. Like they did not buy a license anymore for
Fuck
Premiere. Because I've been adamantly against Premiere ever since they've had to do this whole subscription model.
Yep.
Fuck off. That I hate this.
DaVinci, chef's kiss.
Any subscription program can fuck off. I hate that. I hate looking for apps now. It's like, oh, here's a cool like reminder app. Oh, $40 yearly. Fuck off. Like that's so bullshit. Like I will pay you $40 just to have this. Be done with it. You don't need $40 every year for this fucking maintenance of this app. Fuck off. But yeah, I still have Final Cut on there. It's options, and again, also Logic Pro. I've been on this thing. I don't know if I feel like I've mentioned it to y'all. I don't know why. I've been getting this really creative itch lately. Like I'm just like I really need to just make something now. I've been like on this really weird like I think it's because it's been so long since I made stuff. Even like editing podcast stuff, I've not done that in a hot minute. So I think just that part of my brain is like really just freaking out right now. So I have Logic Pro, which on the Mac is fantastic. That's like the highest quality you can be editing for music wise. I got my video editors. I bought this app that's because I had some money still on my Mac app store, so I bought this thing where I forget what it's called, but it's to build novels. Like it's got a really great suite to build novels off of. I got a final draft on there, so I got like every sort of thing that I could for creating something, and for the first time actually for the first time in like a better part of a decade, I've thought about maybe even writing a book because I've been out of the writing book thing. I've always been like script, but I was like, you know what? I think I kind of want to dive into like long form in that sense without it being so script based. So I gave myself the personal thing, and if I hit it, I hit it. If I don't, I don't. But I kind of gave myself the personal side quest mission of I want to create stuff and make some money off of it to pay off that MacBook because they are very pricey, as David mentioned.
Yeah.
But it's amazing amazing software, amazing hardware, like all together. Just pricey because Apple, right?
Not amazing hardware, but
Well, I mean, I know as a joint altogether when it's all like done. It's like how you say the Switch, right? It's like the Switch.
Okay, so-
Switch
well,
on
no, here's the
paper
thing.
is not great, but they know how to cater that stuff towards.
as a collective bundle, sure. But here's the thing, and this is part of the reason I fucking rant about Mac shit. Because my partner uses Mac for work, and she ran into a fun hiccup, which is why she's on wired Ethernet right now. So to go on this rant real quick. So with the M series Macs, and this is true of all M series Macs, whether it's the M1, the M4, etc., they have a Wi-Fi chip that is not properly spec'd. So it has this weird fucking hardware bug for all M series Macs, where it really is only good at being used on a 2.4 gigahertz signal for Wi-Fi. But if you are in an environment that tries to push you onto a 5 gigahertz signal, it technically can work on a 5 gigahertz signal, but it's actually not rated for it. And so you can actually get a lot of network dropouts and other bullshit that happens, which is what was happening to my partner for work a lot. Because of the fact that I am on an enterprise style network, it optimizes for 5 gigahertz ranges.
It's just these networks bullying the fuck out of everyone. Fucking get over here, you fucking dummy.
Basically, because that's what I have my network set up so that way it tries to load balance. So it'll throw like low power devices onto 2.4 gigahertz ranges.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I want you to really next time whenever you walk in and see Leah, please tell her how much you love and appreciate her for it, because you are creating this environment that literally you and maybe 4 other people in the entirety of the United States are probably doing, which is causing her this issue. If she was with
No, here's the thing. I have a business network. Every business that
I did not say
goes through
business,
the
David.
same shit.
David, I did not say business. I didn't say business. I know what I'm saying. She could date literally anyone else besides the 4 of you people in the United States and live in live in a house that she does not have to deal with this shit. You know? So like,
yeah, she can live in a house with unoptimized internet. I
that
agree.
doesn't give her the headache of having a hardwire shit.
What are you talking about? I have wires running through my house, literally through my house, as you saw. It's fine. I have no problem with it.
And at Becky says, how does your server load balance if it gets a big Dave-sized data?
I mean, I have 32 terabytes worth of data that I can throw on there, and I'm actively
So you have
using...
one selfie?
Yeah, I have one selfie on there currently. No, I'm legitimately using about half that. I think I'm at 16 terabytes of storage space used on my server. I need to get more storage space soon. My plan is to eventually get... Ubiquity now has a NAS that I want to get. It's like $500 for the NAS, but... it has 7 bays to it, and I think with the drives I want to fucking get for it, I think I priced it out like the final build will end up being like close to $3,000. But I'll have about 120 terabytes of storage space on it.
Jesus
Fuck,
Christ.
I fucking want it so bad.
Epic. Ease and also the Mac hardware build is solid as fuck. I agree. Just
That's why I brought that up. And I agree that the software is phenomenal. I will not take that away from Apple. Apple has done an amazing job of creating highly optimized software. And part of that is because of the approach they went. Because everything with the M series is hard soldered. It is one specific standard that the only difference is you pay them fucking a left testicle and a kidney in terms of fucking price to get extra RAM and hard drive space.
which
Because,
is dumb.
oh,
I
no,
agree.
it-
Like it would suck 'cause that's the
But-
biggest thing. Obviously, like I would love to have 1 terabyte in the laptop, and that's what I really wanted. But I didn't want to spend the extra left testicle to get that. Obviously,
But I will agree that for what they have done with the M series, aside from their networking, because I don't fucking understand why, you make a goddamn cell phone, you would think you'd understand fucking networking by this goddamn point as well.
Again,
Also,
cover this,
Apple-
you're not the networking guy, dude.
Listen here, just because I'm not the networking guy doesn't mean I'm not a networking guy. But also, Apple literally was one of the first creators of fucking wireless access points. So I don't understand how they don't understand this shit by now. But that point aside, I will agree the M series is conceptually a fantastic idea.
it's
If
but
you are
yeah,
just-
it's solid. Like
if you are looking for something that just fucking works, if
And
the choice was
works long term.
but yes, I 100% I get it. And again, I even said I was almost fucking tempted to buy a fucking goddamn Mac Mini just because it has the most value for fucking performance. If you get just the bog standard Mac Mini M4 right now, you can't build a PC that has better specs. But however, that also comes with the caveat that it's ARM architecture and it's not x46 or goddamn x46, x86 architecture, so you can't run regular fucking hardware programs on it. But it's still a phenomenal deal, and then you could just throw Linux on it, and who fucking cares at that point? But all that is to say, I shit on Mac a lot because it's partially a meme.
Well,
But
it's
also,
expensive, though.
unironically,
Like that-
it is genuinely expensive.
But like here's the thing
But-
though, is I got that like I got my other MacBook Pro that's still kicking. Like I get it's I haven't booted up since I got the MacBook Pro literally right afterwards. And they were gonna and the trading was not worth it. It was still like a totally workable and doable laptop. But I got that thing in like 2016 or 17, and still kicking like perfectly fine. Can still edit all these videos perfectly fine. Whereas like, and again, I take care of my stuff enough that everything's fine, right? But then like the laptop that I got like in 2021, the gaming laptop, like the keyboard doesn't work, right? So it's like little things like that. Like, did we mention this? Remember I told you the keyboard doesn't work, and
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
so I had to like use an external keyboard to make it work. So it's like that kind of shit like kind of threw me over where it's like that MacBook like it's gonna last me 7 years and it's gonna totally pay off its time. And that's the thing is it just lasts a long time. It's a big price, but it lasts.
I will say that is the other caveat is for Mac, they're expecting that you're not going to want to take care of your shit. And I think that's the other caveat. Because like if you're talking like regular laptops, like not like framework like I have, but if you're talking like the Lenovo, they're built with the understanding that you understand how to fucking work on your shit. Lenovo, if you're gonna buy a regular fucking laptop, and I would usually recommend Lenovo. Lenovo is fucking amazing. They're super easy to repair, but it's with that understanding that you're gonna do maintenance.
You know,
Macs
I'm not
are
gonna.
usually well built that you don't have to, and
Yes.
that's where I was going with
And
that.
you keep
is
telling
that
me-
Literally glued
usually
together.
you don't have to do any kind of maintenance.
Right, Kels. Yeah, you tell me all this like, is David like a MacBook? Absolutely. Look at him. He's definitely one solid unit.
I am one solid unit, but I'm more like the fucking I have one actually. Where the hell is it hiding? Hold on. Oh, it's over here. I'm more like the old like fucking. Oh shit! No, it's not over here. Where did I move it? Oh no!
Just hear a bunch of stuff.
No,
It's
I'm
like a
ruining my
cartoon.
own joke. Oh, it's over here. Hold
stuff
on.
runs over. You hear like a dog barking or something, and a cat like start like screeching and stuff.
I'm
Aiden
built like
is
these
that
old
Mac
fucking
that was built like a
iMacs.
trash can. Yeah, the iMac
No,
trash
I'm-
can.
I'm
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
My headphone. Oh god. Hold on 1 second. I'm really ruining my own joke here.
I forgot what the joke was. Oh yeah.
I am built like these old fucking iMacs that are all in one and had phenomenal screens and disk fucking drives still built into them.
Yeah, my school has
So,
a bunch of
again,
those still.
I do appreciate when Apple does good shit. I have good Apple hardware laying around the house, but it's few and far between.
Yeah. So, but I wasn't sure. I figured it's also I had to justify that just for work, mostly just work. I need an actual laptop that's gonna keep up with a bunch of stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna try my best to pay it off on there. I think this is David and College. You guys will get a funny kick out of this, just to talk about expensive Apple shit. So we go to the Apple store. It's me, the partner, and her cousin. Her cousin owes her a gift, so she wanted new. So he bought. She had. I'm totally out of order. Let's retract all this. Let's go back. Back to the past.
Let's rewind.
Yeah. So she had a
It's
pair.
rewind time.
Right. So she had a pair of AirPod Maxes that she just barely used, and so I sold them for a while. I'm like I'm using them. I actually liked them a lot. And then her cousin's like, hey, can I buy those off of you to my partner? And she's like, hey, do you want to keep those or like you want to just sell them and get some other ones later on? I'm like, hey, I mean they're not mine, but so sure, just like sell them off. Because saw how much I liked them, and so now fast forward to now, he owed her a birthday gift, and so she was like, I want my iPro Maxes now. So we went in there, and those suckers are really fucking expensive. Really fucking expensive. They're nice as fuck. They're really fucking expensive though. So she did that. Okay. And I'm there and I'm looking at this MacBook Pro that I was looking at from the day before. And I also get a little bit of a teacher discount on it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it. Like I know it's gonna suck and it's gonna be a full year of payments on there, but after January, I'm like set. I'm good on money and I got my savings back. Cool. All right, fuck it, let's do it. Cool. Put that on there, and I'm looking at the MacBook, the AirPod Maxes, and and the partner's a really bad influence. She's like, do it. I'm like, oh, that's so much money though. And by looking, I'm like, oh, but look, they match the MacBook though. They look so clean. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's just do it. Let's put it all on a. So her cousin has it on a financing plan, so I put it on there. I'm like, all right, cool, fuck it. If we're gonna make a big purchase, fuck it, make it do it now, because I don't want to deal with it later on. So I got the AirPod Maxes, and the guy that was selling it to is like, holy fuck, they just bought 2 AirPod Maxes and a MacBook Pro right now. And he just looks at me like, you know, you I feel like you really like the Apple Vision Pro. And in my head I'm like, and we had to talk to him.
Fine.
No, we had to talk to him to just cause as they had to like go in the back and get the stuff. So I'm like just entertaining it. Not like I hadn't seen a bunch of videos about how really not great it is. And already I don't give a shit how great it is. I'm never getting one. I do not need that. And
I
price
think they've actually nixed production.
they have too. I knew that.
Yeah.
I did know this too. I don't need that. I would much rather buy a MetaQuest and do that, and I don't need that. But it's so funny just hearing him sell this on it, and me like, yeah, and I'm like, no. I get we just sink a lot of money. No, I am not someone that would enjoy that at all. I'm good. Oh man.
You saw an upsell. You saw wrong, sir.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
audacity.
Yeah. He's like because he was like,
Put
what
the fries in the bag.
David, you would laugh at this setup though, because it's actually kind of cute. He's like, what I do is I have my Mac Mini that he hooks at home, and he uses Vision Pro as a giant desktop.
I don't see. Here's the thing.
I don't
hate
that.
I don't hate
that either.
conceptually.
But well,
Because
first off,
when I first bought my VR, that was exactly what I used it most for. Honestly, was using it as like a virtual desktop.
Yeah,
because I
use
love
that with your-
conceptually the idea of just kind of sitting back and just being able
Yeah,
to
I'll
fucking
see.
futz around and looking. Yeah.
so I will admit, like a small part of me was like, that's kind of sick. I'm not getting. I'm literally never getting it. Like no, It was like
Yeah.
2% of a 98% against it. No, but
Yeah, and you can literally do that with the Quest already, or the
Right.
whatever
Yeah.
the fuck they're calling them now. So you
Right.
don't need to spend $3,000 for something that's like 300.
Literally on Steam, you can go right now and buy VR
Yeah.
desktop
right.
Yeah,
for
I-
$10.
Yeah, they have. I think there's the big one. It's like immersive VR or something, immerse VR or something like that. It's where it's like the desktop and like extendable screens, whatever, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. They're like
Right.
one of the big ones.
So like I saw through that. I've been on a big YouTube rabbit hole binge of just a bunch of shit. And there was one video where I watched where someone wore it for 72 hours straight, which I thought was funny.
I'm just bummed that they weren't one of those products that was like overproduced enough to where we're gonna be able to get them cheap. In the
I would
future.
if I could find one for a couple $100. Sold 100%. I would love that
Yeah,
for a
I
couple
think-
$100.
Yeah, I'd fuck around with it for a couple hundred.
Oh,
honestly.
for sure. But I think they're gonna be one of those things. It's gonna be like, no, this is now $10,000. It's like a collector's
Yeah.
item type.
It's
thing.
first gen and only gen. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it's like trying to find old Google Glass at this point.
Right.
Google Glass. But I did fuck with the idea a little bit because he was showing his actual setup, which is like he has his own mouse. He's like, I do edit a lot of videos. So he's like, I have my Mac Mini. I edit videos. He's like, I'm on the couch. I'm just like this. I have that whole setup. I'm like, it's a clean setup. I'm not a $3,000 setup at all. 0%. But
It's
clean.
so dystopian too.
That's what freaks me out a little bit about this. Like VR, I could disassociate a little bit from that. But the fact that it's so integrated with things, it's too much for me. I'm like, no, I'm good. I need to have some separation of church and state on that end. But yeah, I made that big old purchase, and they were like so excited. They saw it's like the sharks in the water. They're like, oh fuck, we can get. I'm like, no, I know what I'm here for. No,
Yeah.
you
I
got
know what I'm about.
I know what I'm here for. The AirPods are the last thing, and that's the only thing you're gonna upsell me on. Everything else, no, fuck right off. No, I'm good.
It's like walking into a GameStop. It's like, I know more than you. Shut up.
Yeah. Have you heard of this? Yes, I have heard of that. Thank you.
That like the upselling is like the main reason I like to buy stuff online and just do in-store pickup.
I
The
agree with that.
less I can talk to people, the better. It's fucking
Yep.
wonderful shopping online.
I agree with that. I will say that the cool thing about the Apple is obviously the Apple the repair stuff where they can have it all like there, and it's a very clean store, right? So you can have a really
You know what would be even better is if you could actually just fucking repair it yourself. But
no. As I said, my Steam Deck for a $200 repair in. I miss that.
literally one of the most repairable fucking handhelds. And no, I'm just gonna send it in.
Well, so hold up, actually, because they list off. So they already gave me like the what do you call it? They gave me like I said, the screen wouldn't turn on, right? Like that's what I was saying. But they did say that they found other stuff other stuff wrong with it. So they repaired multiple things off it. It was the same price. It was the same.
That's fair. Also, your Steam Deck was really fuckered. I don't know what the fuck you did to it, but
Which it was also that's the second time it's been in for repairs. So to be fair, the Steam Deck in general are just like not the most well built. Like they're solid.
you have a confirmation bias on that because Steam Decks have more or less been completely rock solid across the board. The only thing that is consistent across the board is overheating issues, which third-party options fix that quite a lot.
Sure, but I don't know. Like I again like every other thing in my handhelds, like they do solidly, but that one just it got the trackpad. Remember, like a couple years back, the trackpad was fucking freaking out really badly.
Yeah, I don't know why you have the shittiest luck with Steam Decks.
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily confirmation bias, but it's one of those things where it's like you look online, you see a lot of people complain, but it's obviously the people that are happy with it aren't complaining. But they saw, let's see, they confirmed the boot issue was due to the main board, so they replaced that. They discovered the L1 and R1 had intermittent signal, so they replaced those. Discovered the R2 sounded loud due to worn out trigger holder pad, so they replaced that as well. So they replaced that, and then they also replaced left and right thumbsticks, which is good because Juice definitely did bit on one of the
I
thumbsticks.
was about ready to say, I'm not. Until you said that, I was thinking in the back of my brain, there's no way your cats aren't fucking chewing on your goddamn Steam Deck.
No. Like Juice has bit on it once. My cats have been solid, so my cats like are.
No, that cat is straight up fucking teething on your Steam Deck with
No.
the problems you're fucking
No,
mentioning.
there's like one little chip on it because he tried for it, and I spray balled his ass, and he was like out of it. He's like, all right, cool, I'm done. But no, like it's just like one little bit of it, which If you're a sensory person, it kind of bugs you a little bit, but it's not a big deal. But they replaced those as well. Um, but yeah, they replaced a bunch of shit with it, which is fair. So $200 now. It should be coming up pretty brand new, which is nice. Um, I love my Steam Deck, so I'm not opposed to paying for a little bit to fix it back up on that. Because I'm just not a very uh fixer fixer upper. The partner had to learn very quickly as we were moving in. I am absolutely not an auditory instructional person. You cannot tell me auditory instructions, and that does not work out. She's now getting memes on her phone because she looked it up. She was like, there was like a Fue Coco thing where it's like, people with ADHD and auditory instructions, they look at it like a USB with a brick on it, and they're like, you're gonna see these things, and then Fue Coco pulls it out, and they say, do not unplug it, and then Fue Coco goes, oh fuck, plugs it back in, and then the instructions go, if you have unplugged it, do not replug it back in. And he goes, oh fuck. I'm like, yeah, that's literally me. Like, you cannot auditory tell me stuff. I need to visually see everything be done once. Once I'm done, I'm like, cool, I could do it. But if you tell me these things, it's like I'm looking at it and I am like, my brain's actively like like shoveling it back out. Like, no, fuck that shit. I'm good. Becky says, hey Adrian, I'm moving out for the first time since you recently moved. Any tips do you recommend? What's your budget first and foremost? If you have a lot of stuff and you are of a man of big budget, movers are probably good.
Yes.
But that's like if you don't have the budget, then fuck that. Very much pack everything. Budget be good. Then you might want movers. If you have a lot of stuff and do that, movers are good because the stress is moving that shit. That's a big stress. You don't want to be stressed going into it. Label each box and know what each box label does. So like, for example, and I fucked up again on this because it's been a couple of years. I know for next time. I labeled stuff like movies number 1, movies number 2, movies number 3. But really, it's good to know if you can mentally process. I label each box as best as you can and have stuff really organized in there. So like, for example, like last night was a scramble to get this computer stuff going because I was like, where the fuck are my cables? Cables are kind of like mismatched a little bit. So I'm like, fuck, all right. So I just found 3 cables that fit these. I'm like, cool, let's just do it with that. And now I'm kind of like at a mess of finding where certain stuff is mixed and matched. Even though I thought I organized them well enough, I still didn't. I don't have a lot of stuff though currently with parents. So best I would say is don't do movers. Do not do movers if that's the case. Box everything up ahead of time as best you can. Label everything as extremely well as you could on the boxes so you know where everything's at. You could put stuff like all your kitchen stuff goes in your kitchen, all your bedroom stuff goes in your bedroom. That's fine. And then visualize as best you can how the room's going to look so that way you can get things as pushed in there as possible. You will probably not be settled into your new place until things are like really settled in and like at a spot where they feel good about. So expect to be stressed out for a little while. If you're moving solo, not as bad. Moving with people, it could be a little trial and tribulation when you're doing that. Just having to coordinate with other people because yeah, like I forget if I mentioned it, if it was on the podcast or if it was beforehand, but living solo wasn't that big of a deal. It was like I can go in there, have a mountain of stuff there, but I'm on my own schedule. So it's like, all right, I can wake up, I can move this stuff, move this stuff, move this stuff. I know exactly where everything's at. Cool. Now that I'm with the partner, it's like, all right, I got to kind of be mindful of her stuff. And she's been very stressed out because she's like, I just do not want to break your stuff. I'm like, that's fair because I am very anal about some stuff like that. Where like my mom was helping some of us move and she pulled up one of my arcade 1-up cabinets and she put the NBA Jam 1 logo side face down on the concrete. Like the gravel concrete. I'm like, no, don't do that. And she's like, it's fine. I'm like, it's not fine. Do not do that. Please don't do that. But they don't understand, right? Like David's giving that eye because they don't understand what we understand.
All right, so here's my advice. As someone that used to move fucking on a yearly basis.
And let me say really quick to interrupt that.
Yo, go ahead. Yo, go
There is no more humbling experience than moving on a yearly basis. I've done that for like 2 or 3 years in a row, and that shit is so exhausting. You never really feel like you have an actual home, and that shit sucks. So it's like once you do that for a couple years, when you get your first place where it's like oh, you could be here for 2 or 3 years, that shit is so soothing. Like you're like, cool, I don't have to move again,
Yes.
which is nice because that is moving is nice, especially because when you have your own place, it feels really good. But back to back to back, do not do that. If you can avoid that,
Oh,
don't do
fucking
that
hate
because
this.
it's so taxing.
Uh, real quick. So
Yes.
try to find a really good place where I can see. Yes, if you ideally if you can. It's really fucking hard in this economy currently. But yeah, the less you have to bounce around, the better it's gonna
Ult-
be for you.
Ultimately, do what's best for you. So if it really does
Yeah.
mean like ends meet, and you have, and ultimately monetary comfort is above all. So yeah, if you have to move, if you have to bounce around year by year for a little bit just to have like a really good padding on money, do that.
Yeah.
That takes precedence. If you have the ability to like find a place and be like, and you're probably got to deal with some rent being raised a little bit. Hopefully not too much. Knock on wood. But if you could stay in a place for 3 years, cool. 2 years is still a
Yeah.
little bit like, like you're still on, like it's still a little bit of a struggle. But 3 years is a pretty good sweet spot. Of like, all right, I made my spot here. I can go on, but really like the longer you can stay in a spot, it feels really nice. Like just to settle in and like find your
It's so
comfort and do that.
mentally exhausting doing the yearly move. It really is.
It was some of the worst having to reconfigure because your brain really needs to find that comfort, and when you have to constantly move things around, yeah, it's just it's exhausting. Sorry to interrupt you, David. So you were
No, it's all
the
good.
moving aficionado.
Yeah, yeah. So the kind of more direct things I would say is one, always start as early in the morning as possible as well. Even if you're not a morning person, the earlier in the day you can just fucking get it done. You're gonna not think that it's gonna matter, even if, especially if you're a night person like I am. But honestly, the sooner you can just be fucking done and in your new place and just fucking have that moment of not having to do a goddamn thing and just fucking sit, even if it's amongst the boxes, because that's the key thing. It's just getting all the boxes in there, because the stuff can come out of the boxes over time. You don't have to worry. Once it's all in there, you're done. At that point, it's just figuring out where it lives. So just start as early
Dep-
in the day as you can, get in there, and just focus on getting in there.
yeah, depends
Everything else can be
on your
moved around
moving.
after.
Depends on your moving.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
fair. For you, especially if you're moving with like roommates, that is a little bit less nebulous.
right,
And then you got to really
and
plan
if
around
you
them.
have not that big of a window to move things in, it depends. So if you have a large window to move things in, feel free to like take stuff, unpack it that way your transition isn't too bad. If it's like you're in there in about a week, it is impertinent to like get all your stuff in there at once. That's how I am still. So that's why also I clash a little bit with this kind of move. Was I am on that apartment grind where it was like, all right, get all the stuff in there now. Now I'm at a home with pre-existing things, which clash with my mental. It still kind of is clashing with my
Yeah.
mental so much where it's like I just need to have all my stuff in there. Oh fuck! Now everything's so cluttered and cramped, and it's hard to unbox things because I have to get over so much. So if, especially again, if you're on your own, get all that shit in there. And even though it's a mountain of boxes, okay, the mountain of boxes will dwindle little by little by little by little by little, and it'll feel really good. But it depends on your situation, I guess, on that part.
Yeah. Another bit is also just kind of save money wherever you can, because moving is expensive. Even if you don't hire movers, there's so many weird little hidden costs to moving that you don't realize until you're like, oh fuck, I need this thing, or oh
Especially
shit, this place isn't equipped with this.
your first deposit, your renter's insurance, fees that might be with starting like startup fees on stuff like that. It really does pile on for a little while.
So find every little weird thing you can to kind of save. Don't do the rookie mistake of buying boxes. So many stores give away fucking boxes for free. You'd be surprised how many you can
Ask
just
friends,
go and
too.
raid and get free. Also ask friends.
If you have friends that
Fucking
work at retail, even better. Because I have a friend that works at Barnes and Noble, and they gave me a like fuck ton of boxes. We only bought a
Yup.
few boxes, I think, because I needed some heavy duty big boxes. But that was very few and far between compared to like the 40 or 50 boxes I got from. They were like smaller boxes, but free. Don't buy boxes if you can, unless you absolutely need a specific box.
Also, for anything that requires a team lift, at the same time, don't be stingy. Maybe give your friend $20. Maybe give them a pizza. Maybe give them a handy. Depends how
No,
comfortable you are with that friend.
So I'm assuming you're younger on that end. So as long as you're in your 20s, the whole hey, some homies come over for pizza and beer, that shit works like a charm in your 20s. Your 30s not so much, but your 20s 100%. That's a surefire way.
No, I have homies that 100%. If I fucking offer them just beer and pizza right now, they would still come and help.
Sure, you're not everyone though. Your 20s. I'm 5. All right, so some Capri Suns.
Oh shit!
Some Capri Suns and some pizza. I'm sorry your parents are kicking you out so early.
Skip the handies. That's too early for that. But
any other advice, David?
the only other advice I would say at that point is really just kind of dependent if you're moving in as a solo individual or if you're fucking having roomies. I don't know if you're comfortable going into the details of that at Backy, but that's the only thing that would fluctuate my advice a little bit from there. I've also never been one to care about labeling what's in what box. I just yellow it. I throw whatever fucking has space. Okay, solo he's going for. So in that case, then another thing that is especially going to be really important when you're doing a solo move, have a fucking meal prepped for every stage of the move ahead of time in your brain. Whether it's a fucking Mick meal or something that you know is going to take like zero goddamn effort to cook on the stove for that
this
first
man
fucking
thinks
cut.
as if you're I don't know, I guess budget wise, but I mean now that I've gained weight because like I'm driving through. Yeah,
If you're
that's a
spending
very
all day
adult
physically
one.
lifting and moving and taking care of all that shit, you need energy. You got plan your meal. Plan your meal. You got to bulk up for that.
Pad your collectibles very well. You
Get
may
bubble
not,
wrap
or if you're on a budget,
or use newspaper.
or if you're on a budget, use clothes. I
that too. That's a
very
good
much
option.
have used. I use a lot of like my Christmas sweaters to pad a lot of my collectibles.
Not the Dos Equis one, please.
Oh, I have it now. Hold up.
All right. While he's doing that, I got to pee again.
All right, never mind. I don't want to leave Kels alone. Why this man picks the worst fucking timing of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's leaving. I better leave too.
Yeah, I seen that picture that you posted of it. That's fucking cool that you got it.
Yeah. Oh, dude, so fucking weird. But I don't know. Whatever. If I'm gonna get a sweepstakes, I'll take that. Do you have any?
Yeah, I'll take free shit.
When's the last time you moved?
It's been a while. We've been at our current spot for about 5 years, I think.
Nice.
Close. Yeah. So we've been steady at this house.
Been vibing.
Yeah, steady vibing. Luckily, landlord's pretty cool. So our lease ran up, but he's just like, yeah, you can just stay month to month, because at the time we are like, oh yeah, we'll look to buy, and then the housing market's crazy now, so it's like, yep, probably not gonna buy. And yeah, he's super chill, so we're just still at the same spot.
I love a chill landlord, dude. That makes the whole difference.
Yeah, he's an older dude, so I'm pretty sure like he came by one time and he smelled like weed, so I'm pretty sure he's just a chill guy.
Hell yeah.
Chill old retired dude. Yeah.
That's how one of my friends is. She's been in a little like townhome, I guess. And paying like it's a really incredible rent. Like she's amazing on that.
Yeah.
And I was like, does he know? And she's like, yeah, no, landlord comes down. I was like, he's chill. He's like, yeah, no, you're all good. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's a good time. David, stop picking the worst time. We're not leaving Kels alone. I'm gonna go now.
All right. While you are disappearing, shout out to Penta Zero, who made his WWE debut. Also, wild that they acknowledged Lucha Underground on WWE. Fucking weird to see. I need to actually still watch that match. He had his match against Chad Gable. Which, from what I've saw one clip where he gave the fucking nastiest Canadian destroyer to fucking Chad Gable. Like that looked actually fucking brutal. Good shit. It's hard to make the Canadian destroyer look legitimate. But I need to fucking hurry up and watch Raw from last night.
Is that that pile driver that's been going viral they did?
Yeah, so it's the kind of like pile driver where you do like the front flip with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that come up. Because it was I think it was Chad Gable. He like shared it on Twitter. He said something like, "As much as I don't like Penta, as much as I despise luchadors,
Yeah,
and like something else." He's like, "This was a great moment," and like posted the clip or something. I was like, "All right, that's pretty funny."
yeah, and I remember a lot of people were like, "Oh, you can't have Chad Gable be Penta's fucking debut match. It's gonna be horrible." It's like, nah, Chad Gable knows how to fucking work.
He knows how to sell that shit.
Oh, fucking A. Goddamn, I need to hurry up and get around to watching. Well, I just finally got down to watching SmackDown, which I'll fucking say, SmackDown was actually pretty fucking solid. Having just fucking Jacob Fatu and Tomatonga just destroy the fucking roster all night was fucking great.
Yeah, he said, "I detest Penta, Luchadores, and losing, but last night was a reminder as to why I fell in love with this beautiful artistic expression of physicality in the sport of professional wrestling when I was 5 years old. I felt so alive."
I I am so fucking excited and so fucking horrified with where fucking WWE is going. I saw that there's been a lot of murmurs of who John Cena's final opponents are going to be, and there's one rumor going around that fucking Logan Paul was trying to become his WrestleMania opponent, and I'm like, absolutely fucking not. You are not wasting John Cena's last fucking WrestleMania on goddamn
Yeah.
Logan Paul. I will fucking piss on your goddamn Cheerios.
Yeah, that's very anticlimactic.
Yeah, thankfully it sounds like the way they're going is it'll be John Cena versus Cody.
A lot
Uh,
better than Logan.
yeah, it sounds like they might have him just win the Rumble and then face Cody. Um, honestly, one of the other proposed ideas was him versus Gunter, and you know what? I fucking
Quick.
watched that. I fucking
I got it right.
quick.
She's not gonna stay for long. This is Persephone.
Oh, sweet baby. Oh, look at that little face.
She's really confused right now.
Oh, that's a cool little face. Sweet baby.
All right, I'm gonna take her back out. She wants chicken. Be back.
I mean, there's a
Same,
lot of
bro.
Maine Coon in that. I get it. But yeah, man, there's a lot of good potential. Also, shout outs again to the fans for booing Hogan so fucking hard that WWE is officially like, because they were dumb enough to buy owning interest in Real American Beer, they're now having to find a new spokesman for Real American Beer.
So funny. And didn't he like hire? The thing was, he hired a model, didn't realize she was black, and then fired her once he found out.
Yeah, and replaced her with 3 white girls. Jesus Christ.
Never escaping the allegations.
David, what do I think of the Police in 2025? I
Are they
mean,
still touring? Like, are they still coming out with music?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from them recently. Not in 2025, at least.
I think the most I've heard about them in recent years was the fact that they were used as a gag in Only Murders in the Building because they had Sting in the first season,
That's right.
which was used for a wonderful running gag. Sadly, it was not a man named Sting. It was not the Stinger, but it was the other Sting, the lesser known Sting. Shout outs to the real Sting, though, who did have his retirement match last year and has now also copyrighted the term Old Man Sting, which means we may still get him in some kind of storyline in AEW where he's like fucking Old Man Logan, but as Sting, which would be fitting considering.
Oh no, you cut out.
Dumb wrestling. Oh no, Kels, where are you? I think.
Okay, there it
Okay,
is.
your
Oh,
your
we're back.
camera froze really bad.
Yeah, same.
Oh man, no, I fucking love talking wrestling. I've gotten to a point where I unfortunately don't have many friends that still watch wrestling, and so I have bothered my partner a lot with wrestling. She is in the room now a lot when I watch wrestling. She's not usually actively watching it, but she has started to gain an appreciation for like Rhea Ripley and Gunter and Ludwig Kaiser. So she's but it is one of those things where just because I have like movie nights with some of my friends every other week. I will occasionally just vomit about wrestling because I have no one else to vomit it to aside from you. And it's just funny because they're thankfully like now at a weird point where they almost are like, I kind of want to check out the weird shit because I've shown them like old shit, like when fucking RoboCop was in WCW teaming up with Sting. I've shown them Steiner Math. You know, I've shown them just the weird, heinous shit that goes on in wrestling, and I think I've captivated enough of their curiosity to where I think one of these movie nights, I'm just gonna recommend a fucking wrestling pay-per-view to watch. And it's unfortunate because I fucking love to do Lucha Underground, but that is a nightmare to try and get your hands on legitimately.
Easy. Don't get it legitimately.
Even illegitimately, it's kind of hard to get your hands on. My usual sources don't have it. But I do want to potentially go down that route, and I keep thinking of like this past War Games because honestly, this past year's War Games was great. Some people didn't like it, and those people are fucking wrong. But I like this past fucking War Games.
Did you react back his question?
Yeah, yeah. We talked about how the police aren't really touring right now, so it's fine.
Hell yeah.
I got no.
All right, that's my sweater.
I already forgot.
Hell yeah. Fucking good shit. What a story to tell.
Carlos, is David slow on your end, or is
Yeah, no, like something happened while you were gone, and like it froze both of us, and now he's like behind us like a few seconds.
It's weird because you're both perfectly timed for me.
Yeah, Baggy says the same thing too. Yeah, no, David's camera is about like 12 seconds in the past right now.
That's so fucking weird. Everything is perfectly timed on my side.
Hey, David, how was the weather back then?
Yeah.
Do you want to turn your
Fucking
camera on?
cold.
And off? Turn your camera off and on again.
You're not the boss of me. All right, how's that?
Keep talking.
You fucking keep
All right,
talking.
yeah, you're good right now.
All right.
Hey, David, they just hit the second tower, right?
Oh shit. Jesus Christ. Next time I go pee, I gotta tell my fucking partner about that. God damn.
Zuber, there's a lot of things wrong with Zubers, but the fact that their 9/11 jokes have been pretty.
They've been on fucking point for a generation that wasn't there.
Yeah, well, I mean that's why. There's one that's so funny. I'm gonna I actually I know where it's at. I want to send it to you guys really quick. We can watch it together. It kills me every fucking time I see it. Oh my god. Let's see. Your camera is still definitely like a little slower for some reason. I don't know why though.
I don't know what to tell you. Everything's perfectly in sync for me.
It's fine. I already told the partner.
I'm gonna blame your internet.
I told the partner we're getting new internet next week.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Was it not one of the first ones I uploaded? Maybe. Keep talking.
All right. While you're looking that up, last thoughts on wrestling. I'm also excited because we're finally fucking due back for Alexa Bliss's return, and we're finally due back for Becky Lynch's return. Unfortunately, we're also due back for Charlotte Flair's return.
What's good, YouTube?
But it was unfortunately going to have to happen one of these days. The only one we're missing is fucking Asuka. I can't fucking wait till she comes back. And then the women's roster will be complete again. I'd say that with Jade Cargill too, but we didn't really get to see what she could do much in WWE just yet because she's fucking injured right away. And I'm still confused on what they're going to do with that storyline on who the fuck took her out of action. But
Okay, there we go. I found it.
all right, he found it.
Perfect timing.
Sure, I wish I was a girl.
I'm these nuts.
All right, let me. Oh, I hate that it adds this shit on there. Okay.
Sure, I wish I was a girl most.
All right, put in Discord right now. right, it's 25 seconds. Let me know when you guys are loaded up, and I'll say when to start it.
All right. I have it pulled up now, and I am at the 000 mark.
Same.
Okay, on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sure, I wish I was a girl most days, but sometimes I can tolerate being a guy. So I'm probably not trans, I'm probably just a weird guy or something. Oh, so my voice is gonna get deeper and I'm gonna start getting more body hair? That's cool, I guess. Mom, do you ever wonder what it's like to be the opposite gender? They hit the North Tower! Oh my god!
Dude, what's the video title? Sorry, it's Schlatt didn't expect this at all.
Holy fuck.
It's the comedic timing is so fucking impeccable on that. It's ridiculous. It's so good. All right. Have we talked about what you played?
No.
Dave, what'd you play?
Hell yeah. Fucking Pokemon's Portable. Aside from that, no, I'm getting a little. I can't wait till the new set comes out because I am getting a little fucking bored. The Celebi themed mini pack there was kind of a nice reprieve. It gave a couple new nice toys to play with, but we need a new good meaty expansion to really shake up the meta.
I have since received a God pack. Shoutouts to me.
Yeah, shout outs to you. I still have not received one, although I'm only one card away from having all of the Celebi pack cards, and I'm 6 away from having all of Genetic Apex. So I'm almost fucking done collecting all the goddamn cards, aside from full art variants, of course. But
Which I will say, that's one reason why I'm kind of glad we haven't hit the expansion yet. I'm like, I want to complete everything. I want to be done with it. Next expansion, move the fuck on. Don't want to look back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I've been doing.
I'm so fucking close.
Oh no.
Rest in peace, David. He's
Yeah,
he's so fucking
there he
close.
He's about to bust.
A little
See,
bit, and
Welcome back, David.
no good. Nope. Something happened with me?
Yep.
No.
He disappeared for a while.
Well, everything was fine for me. That's weird.
So weird.
But yeah, no, I've been shaking with my Dragonite deck again, and it's fine. It's just the earliest you can do it is your turn 4, providing you actually get the split of energy you need. And turn 4 in this game is so fucking slow. It's fine-ish, but especially where you're relying on RNG for Dragonite to hit anything. And then even then, your only other alternative is actually using Dragodon to attack instead of just being a wall. In which case, again, the earliest you can get them online is turn 3, providing you get the split in energy. But it's still turn 3 for 90 damage versus things like Pikachu and Starmie, which turn 2 get 90 damage attacks. So it multicolor's too slow and unreliable. It needs some kind of support. Also, we need anything other than just Meltan for fucking metal. Mawile is not a viably playable card, and Bisharp is not a viably playable card. So all there really is fucking Melmetal. And while Melmetal is fucking cool, it is again 4 fucking energy to get goddamn online. Even if you're buffing it real quick with its baby form there, Meltan, it's still turn 3 at the earliest you're getting it. So even though you get an ability that fetches you extra mana, it's still only 1 turn sooner. It needs fucking support.
Yeah, but that
Goddamn.
thing will not die though.
It will though, because there's the more meta threats currently. Mewtwo is still gonna one-shot it. Fucking Charizard EX will easily one-shot it. Fucking
hating fun.
Celebi can one-shot it.
Stop hating fun.
I don't hate fun. It's just the reality of the situation. It is good against non-meta decks, but it needs support to be more viable other than just a gimmick. Which, don't get me wrong, I've been having fun with gimmicks a lot. I've even started using a
You
poison
almost
deck.
said Dick.
I have been having tons of fun with Dick. But it is kind of one of those things that, again, like, there just needs to be more tools. We're still not at a stage yet where we have a lot of viable options. Or at the very least, maybe not like a lot of viable options, but we still don't have a lot of like variants to have weird fun options. We have like sometimes if the moon is correct, it kind of works and you can get away with playing it for a few rounds. But the nature of this game, it needs more going on.
Man,
But aside from that,
that Primate deck's so fun though.
Well, that's why I really like my poison deck. I feel like it's one of those ones you don't have to depend on coin flips. It's really just depending on card draw. I mean, that's any TCG, so I can't. It's almost to the point unless something comes out that's extremely busted. I think the deck's already in like a good spot and pretty well honed in, minus like some like EX version coming out that just sets it apart. Like there could be an EX Weezing that comes in that's just amazing. Or
Poison's so much fun though. That's all. I've always stand by. Go listen back. Love Poison. David's gone
it's
again.
very fun. I'm with you on it. I'm fully on board.
It's definitely on my
Yeah,
internet.
Poison combined with the Venoshock.
Yeah.
Fun.
David, your internet keeps coming out.
nope. That was the first time that YouTube paused for me. So,
But
that
it's
is
not
me
mine.
happening.
How is it mine if me and Kel are talking fine?
Fuck you. That's how.
Thanks, Twitter user George014790.
But no, like I've been having fun with Poison too. But the major problem with this game is that card draw does fuck you over more than even regular TCGs. Because honestly, if you don't have basically a Pokeball and Oak in your starting hand, and your opponent does, you're so behind the curve on a lot of shit. Because of the fact you only have 20 cards to work with and there's no mulligans, so you can't at least alter your starting hand. If your starting hand is shit, it is so hard to fucking come from behind on that, especially if your opponent is playing a meta deck that is hyper fast.
I think it depends, right? Because if I get like a Coughing Weezing in my starting hand, I'm fine without the Oak and Pokeball. I can kind of make it a turn or two later.
That is fine. But if you get just like a Ekans and like maybe a fucking or what the fuck is the little roly poly guy, his
Scolipede.
baby form. Yeah. Whatever his baby form is there. Yeah, Venipede, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, if you get him, but it's still like a turn or two before you get any of their evolutions, like that's the key thing.
Right.
If you run any deck that relies on evolutions and it takes you 2 turns to draw your evolutions, you're too far behind the curve. Unless your opponent really fucking played dumb, or you lucked out and you fucking drew your Sabrina and they drew none of their Leafs or X speeds and they've spent all their energies fucking organizing their goddamn play order. It is very hard to come from behind if you don't draw any of your evolutions in the first 2 turns.
It's kind of the upside of running no EX cards too, is you can kind of
You
can kind of throw you can kind of throw out some of those little baby 1-drops.
Great thing with Poison decks too. No EXs. Honestly, like that's a big plus. You just got more time.
Some EXs are fine though. Like I fucking love running Mew EX. Fucking 130 HP wall with 1 retreat. Yeah, I'll throw that out there all goddamn day.
Yeah, 1 retreat's ridiculous on them.
Especially because
Starmie's fucking stupid as fuck. Whatever. Yeah.
Starmie being free is fucking wild, but it's still an evolution. Whereas Mew is just he's there. Fuck it. And then Mew also has the Koga style support where you can just fucking shuffle, fucking pull it back up, which is ridiculous. That is the dumbest fucking thing. I don't know why they gave Mew EX a fucking Koga support.
Expedition,
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Giving a fucking EX card already that has 130 HP and only 1 retreat cost a fucking get out of jail free card when Weezing is a fucking evolution and has a 3 retreat cost. Fuck off.
I think
that's absolutely unnecessary.
It's so funny because I think if you go back to listen to the first time we saw that expansions trailer, that's the first thing you said was, "What the fuck? Mew has a fucking Koga card?"
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure too.
I think the first thing you pointed out. That's so funny.
It's just so fucking dumb. It is the dumbest get out of jail free card. Like fucking hell. But no, like it's kind of one of those things where that's the kind of crux of it is. Because the decks are so tiny, there's very little wiggle room for errors to happen. And that's fine if you have enough variety of cards to work around that. But there just isn't a whole lot of recovery in the game right now. And that'll happen naturally over time as more cards get added. But that's why I can't wait for the new fucking set. Is we need more. The game is still too barren to have like a ton of fun with.
That's fair.
Beyond that, though, I have also I did this weekend actually get to sit down and do a Hardy gaming session. I sat in bed while I was recovering from the flu, and I played some Cassette Beast. I had a bit of fun with that. It's kind of like Pokemon, except it feels more like, honestly, Shin Megami Tensei, with how much it has reliances on buffs and debuffs. Honestly, I've been having fun with it. I'm like 8 hours into it, which I guess from, looking at how long to beat, I'm almost halfway through the game. Fun little game. Definitely a game you get on the cheap. Definitely, $10 I think is like the perfect price point. I think normally it's like 20, but I'm having fun with it. It's fine. Not a ton. In a weird way, there's a lot of depth to the way the game plays, and yet not enough depth to the way the game plays.
Okay.
So, if you're not familiar with the game kind of has like a Pokemon style elemental system, but they go like fucking ridiculous with it. So not every single, but the vast majority of elements have like weird meta relative interactions with them. So, there's your fire, your wind, your water, all that stuff you expect. But then there's stuff like plastic and poison and all these other extra things. And they all have like extra interactions. So, like, for instance, if you're facing an ice opponent and you use a fire attack on them, the ice melts and their element turns to water. So they then become a water type. All right. But then if you also use a fire type on a water type, it then creates a status on them called steam, which then they heal over time. Likewise, if you're fighting a plastic monster and you use a fire type on the plastic, the fire melts the plastic and they become a poison type. And then if you use fire on a poison type, fire ignites poisons and venoms and toxins, and then they get a damage over time debuff on them. And so there's like a lot of like really staggered meta odd like things like that where the types really add into the idea of the fact that they're not a consistent thing, and the game is designed around shifting either through you attacking them or manually manipulating your own creatures' types and causing either debuffs or advantages based on those interactions. But even though it's like really deep with the idea of that system, it doesn't really utilize it that much because there's so much of a birth of abilities. There's like 17 different elements in the game, and because there's such a wide variety of them, it's possible to make builds that are so varied you kind of ignore a lot of those interactions. And in fact, there's only been like twice that I've run into a fight where the easy way to grind normal enemies was using those interactions. But like in boss fights, it almost never comes up because boss fights have their own weird mechanical gimmicks. So it's kind of weird how there's a lot of depth, but they don't really utilize the depth. It's kind of unfortunate. There was a concept of a plan for an idea there that just really wasn't utilized as well as it could have been. But
like
all in all, yeah, exactly. But I mean, more or less, I've had fun with it. I'm gonna finish the game, but it's definitely kind of one of those things that I probably wouldn't go back to. I certainly am not going to invest the energy in 100%ing. I know the game is supposed to have like a really deep end game, so after or post game rather, where after you beat the main story, there's still like a lot of challenge left to go. But honestly, I think once I beat the main game, I don't care enough to like really explore that extra content. And that is all I've really been playing.
Kells, Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, shit ton of Marvel Rivals. That's where I've been.
Hell yeah. Rival those marvels.
Yep, I am the rival.
Oh, I'm so excited to play soon.
Yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. Season 1's really cool so far. I can't wait to play the thing and Johnny now.
How's Sue's ass?
Slappable.
Hell yeah. What about Mr.
Well,
Fantastic's ass?
What about Mr.
Is
Fantastic's
it
pubes?
slappable?
Just ass slappable.
Yeah, what about his side pubes? Can you pull on them like a mustache?
Are they elastic as well? No, and like.
All right,
on
boys,
the
I'm gonna drop
subject,
things for
have you seen,
recommendations. Yeah, Becky.
Hell yeah.
Have you seen the I guess like there was like an interview with like developers for Marvel Rivals. They said that they plan on releasing a hero every month and a half.
Yes, because they're doing seasons. Seasons are like every 3 months, and then they're gonna release a hero
2.
halfway in between each.
Yeah.
Overwatch, fuck you.
Yeah.
Although I'll be honest, I feel like that is way too much because I feel like that's gonna quickly go into like the League of Legends territory where you get so in a day. Like League of Legends is like 300 fucking playable.
It's gonna be that
characters.
way. Like, yeah, no,
I'm
you're
fine with that, honestly. I think that's kinda fucking cool.
go play
I just swore about shit
Overwatch,
like that.
David.
Yeah, fucking dork.
Look, as much as
I
am a
get where you're
respect-
at because it feels like every character's gonna maybe like not have as a depth to it. I get that.
Yeah.
But realize Marvel has so many
Don't believe
fucking
that at all.
characters, they can just dig deep
Yeah.
forever. And I'm like, fucking.
They've already like supposedly leaked like the ones coming up, and half of them I don't even fucking know. And I'm like a Marvel comic book guy.
That's
Because
like kind
they're-
of sick.
Yeah, there's a big like they're like Paste Pot Pete, and I'm like, who the fuck is
What
Paste
the
Pot
fuck?
Pete?
They made that shit
Exactly.
up. Fuck that.
Exactly. Well, I looked it up, and it's like an actual character.
It was like Howard the Duck's roommate for like 1 year.
Exactly. They're like doing a few deep cuts, and then they're giving us like Colossus and shit like that.
Dude, we
It's
still
like-
have. We don't have Deadpool. We don't have Colossus. We don't have Cyclops. Like we don't have any of the X-Men. Really, like a lot of them still.
Well, a lot of those have been in the leaks that have been coming out after season 1 update because I guess they found one of the upcoming seasons are gonna be X-Men themed, and we're gonna
Ooh,
get like
makes sense.
Professor X. We're gonna get Cyclops.
I
and, like,
love that
the-
meme that's been going on Twitter where it's like me as a
The
Professor X
Holocaust
support.
beam.
No, it's
Oh,
it's me as a Professor X support, and it's that Multiverse of Madness scene, but it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Oh,
it's
yep.
Professor X
The ground.
grinding on a fucking thing, just skating around everyone.
No,
Dude,
there's
I
one
saw
like,
I saw my favorite Marvel Rivals clip yesterday. It fucking killed me. It was a Jeff just fucking spewing fucking health at a Spider-Man, who's just like jumping in there, and Jeff for his like just spending his life just fucking healing this Spider-Man. It's like always on the very fucking tip of death, and it gets healed, and then it cuts to Spider-Man chat saying, "GG's no heals."
What the fuck?
And then and I forget what, and then it cut to showing Spider-Man 2 and 12, and then it cut to Jeff using his ult to on the point, getting 3 people, 2 opponents, and the Spider-Man. The Jeff spits out the opponents and then throws him and the Spider-Man off the ledge, and they spawn, and then Jeff's just spitting at Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man types in chat, like get out or something, and then leaves the game. I died, dude. Oh my
Did
god.
it give you fond memories of when you did that to me, Adrian?
No, because I did not do it intentionally. The fact that he spit out his opponents to say, "I don't want you guys. I was trying to kill Spider-Man. I want to kill my own teammate," and then didn't even spit out Spider-Man. It was, "I'm taking you.
Just
I'm taking
walked
us
off the
both
ledge.
down." Like, sincerely, fuck yourself. That's the most like fuck yourself thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So good.
But yeah, I've been playing a shit ton of that. Season 1's great. We need to play some more.
Yes.
Really hype with where it's going. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
patch week this week, so I have a
next-
lot of just
next
sitting
week-
and watching the screen.
Next week I should be good, and I think I should have the TV finally fucking out and the Xbox done.
Hell yeah.
Fingers crossed. What else you been playing?
That's pretty much. PoE 2 has an update coming out, so I need to check that out too. So I'll probably check that this upcoming week.
Oops.
1 second, y'all.
What are you? I have the cheese.
Hold on. All right.
Sad day.
All right. Let's try this again. Turn cameras off.
All right.
All right. Turn it back on. All right. Back at it.
Sorry, next week we'll be back to normal.
Hopefully. Oh, man. All right. So, unfortunately, I got hit with a sickness, too, in the middle of all this, which was fun. Like, third day, I'm like already... Yeah, I'm already calling out of work on the third day of work coming back.
Hell yeah.
So I had a moment with the partner where I was like really antsy, and I was like, I just cannot stand being on my phone anymore. Like, I have nothing unpacked that I can entertain myself with. I am so severely understimulated. I just do not want to be on my phone. So I dug around and finally found my handheld. So I found my 3DS. Plug that in, charge it up, and I was wondering what to play. So I went through Star Fox 64 3D. Don't know why. I was like, I don't want to get invested in a giant game, but Star Fox seems like a good enough little start. I can't tell if it's the 3DS or if it's the game, but I don't remember the game being that challenging in some parts, dude.
No, on 3DS it's fucking rough.
Okay, is it? Because I'm like, I feel like on 64 I was just kind of killing it as a kid, but on the 3DS it was a little bit tougher for sure. It didn't help that I did. Dude, you guys notice it sometimes? It's so cool, but like, you know when you go through and you hear a song you haven't heard in 10 years, and you still remember all the lyrics or something, or you go through a game and you're like, I know exactly what to do here. It's so cool when you get that recall thing. So like when I'm going through Star Fox, I'm doing some of the secret shit. I'm like, I don't fucking remember how the fuck do I remember any of this shit? So it's like I was going through all this, and I went through all the things that helped Falco, and I got through. So I was going through not all of them, but I went through like I think all but 2 of the mission accomplished parts of the missions to get through the harder levels. I just severely fucked myself going into the last mission on Venom. I think it was Venom. I think that's what the last one's called, if I recall correctly. Because Slippy and Falco both went down on Sector Z. And so it was just me and Peppy versus all of Star Wolf. And I'm like, oh, fuck. This is fucked. And the AI for Star Wolf, when you go on the harder route, it's pretty fucked, dude. Like, that shit's on your ass the entire fucking time. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So I finally got through them. And then I went through Andross. And that was when Andross had his tougher form. And that shit took me like 4 or 5 lives to get through, which was interesting. Because I was like, I swear I did not take this that much as a kid. But I had to like do all these fucking alley-oops and shit to fucking kill that guy. I'm like, I don't think I'm doing this right. Something, you know, when you do that, something like, I feel like I did not do that right. But I got through it anyway, so fuck it. But yeah, so Star Fox was actually kind of fun. Like I went through that, and that was a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going through a severe video game withdrawal because it's like I can only take so much Pokemon or Marvel Snap or this like crossword game I'm playing. I need to do fucking something else. So I'm like, I just want to fucking play Marvel Rivals so fucking bad right now. So yeah, and my PC is not where, like I mentioned earlier, it's like my PC is not exactly where it needs to be. Like the cord's not set up or anything, but I was like, I just need to fucking turn the PC on because I want to play something. I just don't want to do anything else besides fucking play. Besides just play my phone because I can't do that shit. With shouts to TikTok. Let's see if you guys are banned or not in about a week. Not even
also, shouts to Biden, who signed an executive order to, even if it is banned, still allow TikTok for the use of U.S. propaganda. Shout outs.
It's so funny that everyone's just downloading China equivalent apps now. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
It's so funny. And I saw, what was it? So I don't know if it's fake. It's probably fake, but I want to believe it's real. Someone downloaded like one of the Chinese equivalent apps, and the first thing they got was, "Hello, this is your Chinese spy friend." I hope it's real. It's so dystopian. Everything's fucked, dude. But I mean, I can't help but not be amused at this though. It's in a severely weird way. But yeah, what else did I play? Did I have a chance to play anything else? We are playing Emily is Away 2 for one of my classes tomorrow. So I'm excited for that. I still
I still got to play Emily's Away 3 at some point.
You played Emily is Away 1 then, right?
I played 1 and 2, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put that on the list then, David.
I think 1's on there.
And 1 is
Yeah,
on there.
1 is on there.
I didn't know if David was doing that. I feel like I might.
Yeah, I went through the first one. And I was like, I mean, it's interesting enough. I guess I'll
It's
play
a
the
proof
second.
of
'Cause I have
concept.
all of them.
It's a proof of
Yeah.
concept. The second one's like kind of like where you imagine the game would go, and the third one's like where you think it would land.
Yeah,
Which is fantastic.
It's kind of like Molyneux creating games, where the first game isn't quite what he wanted it to be. The second game was what the first game should have been, and the third game was what the second game should have been. It's fine.
Yeah, just keep on fleecing the investors.
So,
That's right.
does anyone else have the impulsive ADHD where you just have to buy novelty shit every time you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
you've seen my house, Adrian. The answer is yes.
So shouts.
Yeah,
to,
I've had those before. Yeah, they're actually better
They're-
than they should be.
They're not bad. They are
Yeah.
not bad. And 6%. All right. Like you guys are trying, which is cool.
Yeah, there was a point. Rewind like 3-4 months in the podcast, and there was a point where I was getting the 12 packs of those and just pounding through them on the podcast.
That's the issue. This is the issue. Is you can't taste
They
the
go down
alcohol.
like fucking candy. You don't.
can't,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
cannot taste the fucking which I say fuck you to anyone who talks shit on like, oh, those are girly drinks. No, fuck off. Like those are inherently worse because you drink through that shit just like fucking that.
When you don't notice it, it fucking sneaks up. You're like fucking 5-6 in, you're not thinking about anything, and the second you crack open that 7th one, you're fucking tasting the color purple.
Dude, so
When you're 6 Mike's Hard Lemonades in.
like even Mike's Heart though, you can taste like the alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Like the Mountain Dew and the Monster ones, dude, you can't.
No, 100%.
Like you cannot taste this alcohol. Like there's no alcohol here, as far as I'm concerned.
No, like because that's
Yeah,
like
there's nothing in there, man.
Yeah.
Good.
no, that because that's like I used to get this pomegranate liqueur every so often, and it was the most dangerous shit because it was like 17% by volume, and you couldn't fucking taste it at all. It just basically tasted like you got like a bottle of Palm, basically. And fucking, I just chugged the whole fucking bottle. Next thing you know, goddamn.
That's how really good like flavored moonshine is too. Whenever
Yep.
I've had some people that like just make it at home and like the apple pie moonshine or like the
Oh,
combo
yeah.
moonshine. It's you literally can't taste the alcohol. It's ridiculous.
Dude,
That's
yeah.
the shit that you wake up blind the next day and you fucking
Yeah.
question your life choices.
Dude, yeah. No, we had to. I didn't realize. I'm not a big alcohol person. Not in a bad thing, but I just don't really drink too much. But I am a sucker for novelty shit. Like anytime I see anything of novelty, sure. And alcohol's just kind of been on that shit where it's like Arizona iced tea, Monster, and Mountain Dew all had alcohol versions of it, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't like having these in my fridge. Not in a bad way. I'm like, I just rather have room for other shit. So I've been pounding these all like pretty consistently now. It's like I felt
No,
like
that's why legit. I'll just get like a couple beers for the podcast, and then that is what I drink for the night. I don't like keeping anything in the fridge.
yeah, okay, David, that's your excuse for that. All right.
Yeah,
But I
3 Sapporo. That's all I need for the podcast. That's fine.
I-
Sometimes a bottle of wine.
I don't really drink soda either, but again, it's like the Mountain Dew one though, dude. I feel like not like that old like stereotype of a dad where like come home from work, crack a beer, but I have been coming home and cracking a beer just because I'm like I just need to get rid of this shit. So it's good though. Like it again, like David said, it's really genuinely not bad. Like
fucking even Sunny D's got one out now that I almost fucking got. And I'm like, no,
They
that's
do?
dangerous. Yeah.
all right, hold
Yeah,
on.
I fucking saw a goddamn alcoholic Sunny D in Arizona now as well has fucking an
Yeah, that's what I
alcoholic
said.
green tea.
Yeah, Arizona. I see. I have a.
Yeah.
I have. You will see that probably next week. I have a 12-pack of that in the
I
fridge. I
think
still
there's
gotta
a
get through.
Minute Maid one too. I think
Jesus
Minute Maid
Christ.
They're all
is
going
alcohol.
through it, and that's how I become an alcoholic. Not by this is bullshit. I'm not even an alcoholic.
You know what?
I'm not even an alcoholic because of the alcohol. I'm just trying to get through all the fucking fun drinks.
You know what? Fuck it. Where's the alcoholic Ecto Cooler? Where's that hiding at?
Oh god, I wish.
Imagine.
Give me the alcoholic Crystal Pepsi. Let's go.
Imagine. I'm gonna look up the Sunny D one in Total Wine right now.
It's available in like one
Hard
12.
seltzer. Yeah, holy shit, David. What the fuck? All right, hold on. I gotta.
He's got to place an order.
I. Oh man.
Life choices have to be made right now.
Yeah, I'll pick
Poor
some.
ones, but they.
I'll pick some ones up on the way back from work from for next week's podcast, and we'll try them on the.
I should have sent you
Well,
home
by
with some
next week.
Moxie so you could have had some delicious burnt trailer parks at home.
I think they sell Moxie at the there's an Asian market nearby that sells a bunch of like yeah I know but there's an Asian market that sells a bunch of international foods.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And
I'm
I
gonna
did
check out my international market next time. I
yeah
come
and
down.
I did see I swear I could be wrong I swear I'm like 95% positive I saw Moxie there. What if they made Moxie alcohol,
God damn.
David?
I mean that would be interesting, but I feel like it's redundant when you already have the main state beverage of Moxie and the main state alcohol of Allen's Coffee Brandy, both of which cost you less than $5. So
Yeah.
every so often I still see that guy at fucking Shaw's, and I'll just fucking look at him and go, "God damn it!"
You're a fucking idiot, David. You're
Watch this
actively.
guy. He's gonna fucking spill all the Moxie.
You could have just said. You could have ended. You could have ended the whole thing. It still would have been a funny story too. It would have been a funny story to be like, "Hey, my bad. I spilled Moxie on there. I'm sorry." And then we'll be like, "All right, cool."
I mean, what I said wasn't wrong. I saw Moxie leaking everywhere.
The stupidest shit ever. Like, this is gonna sound dumb. I
Whoa,
pride
what is
myself.
that?
I pride myself on not being surprised. Right? Like you mentioned, the way I go through movies, I like to try to jump ahead of the plot. I feel like I just jump ahead of a surprise a lot. But the fact that that's the route you fucking took, and you know what, I am so proud of myself to like not bust out laughing.
It was, you were so on the edge of it.
I had a
Jesus
cough.
Christ.
I went.
Holy fuck.
I went like that.
See, I'm the person that breaks. I'll start dying laughing.
Dude, it took every minute of training as a high schooler of doing dumb pranks. It took all those years of training to like not bust out laughing, cause like
Well,
I
I
swear.
get the nervous laughs too. Like I'll just, it doesn't even have to be a funny situation. I'll just giggle because
I had to try so hard. David tried to be so respectful. Hey, excuse me, by the way. As he's holding Moxie, I saw some leaky Moxie over there. Like, you dumb fuck. And I think one of the funniest things in hindsight though is that me and David are on the most dumbass fucking thing. Remember, this is also like minutes after he shut down all the TVs in GameStop. So David's already having the dumbest fucking like run of his life right now. Then he goes to Applebee's and shuts off TVs and all that. And then we go
Being a
back to
fucking menace.
and then we go back to David's house and we talk to our partners, and they've been going through, like, they've been trauma dumping on each other, trying to like bonding that way. And then they're like, "Oh, we went through all our personal shit. What do you guys do?" "Oh, he dropped Moxie on the ground and spilled everywhere."
And I tracked it through the store in the most SpongeBob-esque, like, squishy shoes sound effect style. I don't know what it is. Usually I'm a very well put together individual, but there's just some friends I have that I reduce myself to one brain cell, and apparently Adrian's just one of those.
Yeah, which is so shocking considering we've hung out maybe 4 times in our entire life. I'm just shocked. Like, I don't know. Are you genuinely like just like kind of a nervous liar like that? Like,
No, I don't put that much thought into things. I just fucking say whatever is immediately coming to my mind.
You
And what
always
immediately came to
struck
my
me-
mind was what immediately came to my mind is like, okay, I need to be honest that something has happened. But the honesty extended to only the fact that I observed it happening.
all right. Hold on, I just realized. If you were one of the 4 listeners that listened to this podcast and didn't hear what happened before, let me walk it through. About in October, I was visiting. I don't know why. About in October, I visited David. Right, we're doing our thing. We go to GameStop. We go to. David wants to get some main originals for me and the partner to feast on before our flight the next morning. So we're going through the store, and David picks up a box of Moxie, which David you described as a potato-based soda.
Yeah, it's kind of like a potato-based soda. It tastes like if you combine ginger ale and root beer, honestly.
Which would freak out every European person ever on the planet. They would fucking like spit out in disgust. But we're Americans, we can handle that shit. So David holds the thing, which is fair, right? Like he holds the whole like carton thing by the handle, but that shit gives me anxiety. Like I hate when you just just and David's a big boy, so he just like busts his hand in and holds it like that and just holds it. And I'm like, I can't do that. I need to bazooka it. Like it's holding it like this way because I don't trust that shit. It's so thin. But whatever. David's doing it. It's fine. All right, we're gonna leave. And David's like, oh, I better walk this way to go check on this thing. Let's see if we have it. Oh, they didn't have it. No. It broke first.
Well, no, because what happened was we were going to check out, and I was like, shit, I forgot to look for the whoopie pies. So then I backtracked for the whoopie pies, and then when I came back from looking at the whoopie pies is when I dropped it.
So as he's going, the cardboard breaks and it just spills. And I
Does it in such a way that is fucking beautiful. Because it basically stands upright, and then just becomes a fucking fountain display.
But it's funny because like David it's funny because like it shits a can out too, which is really funny. Just like blup. But David doesn't know what to do, so David picks it up first and walks about 10 feet and says, "Wait, that's a bad idea because now it's just spilling everywhere. I better just put it down on the ground." And then David's like, "Oh well, we need Moxie though, right?" So he goes back to walk to get another box of Moxie. As he steps inside on the Moxie, creating a very squish sound with footprints leading towards the Moxie. So realize, just keep that in mind, right? There's a box of Moxie on the ground, leaking everywhere, with slight footprints.
With wet Moxie footprints leading back to the Moxie.
Back to the Moxie. And then which case, all right, so we're laughing, we're being dumbasses, right? And then we go back to the self-checkout, and again, or actually not again, but we're in Maine. Maine's dead after like 6 p.m.
Yep.
And this was a Sunday night or Saturday?
So Saturday.
Which is fucking astounding to me. Saturday night at 6 p.m. in Maine's dead as fuck. Even the mall is dead. Shout out to Auburn Mall. So it's literally us, maybe like 1 or 2 other customers, and like 1 employee I saw. The one employee was
Yep.
the greeter guy that was near the self checkout. David checked the Wookiee Pie. He's not there. Brings Moxie back. As we're checking it out, in my head, I'm like, all right, well, as a good Samaritan, David, you got to tell him there's a leaking box of Moxie. David, the anti-hero Samaritan, says, hey, I noticed there was a box of Moxie out there leaking all over. And the guy like looks at him like, oh, all right, I'll get that. And while David's holding Moxie, realizes the employee's gonna walk over, see the Moxie on the ground with footsteps leading towards the Moxie, as this guy who noticed the Moxie on the ground in a store filled with 5 people, holds a box of Moxie, says, "Hey, that's spilled over there, by the way." Dumbest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Top 10. Top 10 dumbest shit I've ever seen in my entire life. Congratulations, David. You made the list.
Hell yeah.
Great
I knew
trip,
I'd be
though.
remembered for something.
Yeah, great trip, though. It was fun. The dumbest
I would
fucking...
need to get one of all 3 of us.
Yeah, dumbest trip ever, but it was fun as fuck. Great Nier concert, though.
Yeah.
David, let's go through some news.
Hell yeah. So let's talk about some of the impending reveals here. Microsoft has their big direct kind of coming up here in the immediate future, of which it's already projected that Microsoft's finally going to unveil that their exclusives are coming to PlayStation.
Have you heard the rumblings? Because they have 3 or 4 games they listed on there, but they have one mystery one. Have you heard the rumblings about that?
No, I haven't heard the rumblings of the mystery one yet.
Kels?
Are you talking about the potential Halo remake?
No.
Or...
So, they have a missing blanked out
Yeah.
game. Windows Central said they've got sources on it that said it's from a legendary a Japanese developer of a legendary IP that's been known for
Oh,
decades.
Yeah.
That's coming back. And one person at Windows Central said if it's
Scalebound.
yeah, known for decades. But yeah, the guy at Windows Central backed it up and said, yeah, this is I'm hyped as fuck. So
The only thing that, like, because it couldn't be Square because, I mean, there was Sony, right? So, I mean, what's a big one? Because I was thinking, like, maybe, like, Lost Odyssey or something, but isn't that Square?
yeah, but it says a legendary
Yeah.
IP known for decades though, which makes me feel like it's like a Dragon
I
Age.
mean, it could be them
Dragon
just...
Age.
it could be them also potentially just finally saying, here's the modern Final Fantasy VII shit on Xbox.
No. That would not be enough to make it like a mystery reveal. People said Phantom Dust. I don't think so. I think that already has.
Phantom Dust is already... Oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
let's try.
on PlayStation, maybe. Yeah.
I could see
I
Dragon.
mean, maybe this is when we finally get the fucking accidentally leaked Raito remakes.
I the way I'm trying to say that I think it could be Dragon Quest though, right? Because how long are we past due the last one?
11 was fucking 3-4 years ago, something like that. Maybe even longer.
Which is about time for another one, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, actually, it's got to be even longer because originally it was on.
Because it was S on
It
Switch.
was Switch and on 3DS. And then those got like 4 different enhanced versions. But the fact that it was originally also on 3DS, like that had to be fucking old at that point. So I guess we're due for Dragon Quest 12, but like we just got 3 HD remaster, and we have the 1+2 HD remaster around the corner next year.
Yeah, that would.
Or I suppose this year actually. Now at this
that
point.
would put a little. That would put a stop to it a little bit. I don't know what you guys think on that.
I
Chrono
and
Trigger.
we are fucking overdue with something for the fucking Chrono series. Chrono Trigger is 30 years old now, which goddamn.
Is it 30th anniversary?
that hurt.
Right?
Yeah, I think this year is the 30th anniversary, or last year was one of the two.
David Kells, you guys think this is time?
I mean,
Why did we never get more Chrono? Did Chrono Cross not sell that well? I educate the
No,
non-player person.
Chrono Cross did not do well. Compare in the term of like, it was not at all what people wanted, because the whole point of Chrono Trigger is it was the swan song of the Super Nintendo. It was the dream team. It was SquareSoft getting a lot of the biggest names in the industry at the time to basically push the Super Nintendo to its absolute fucking limits as a console. And it was such a lightning in a bottle, once in a lifetime kind of experience.
Yeah, and working with Akira Toriyama too.
Exactly. And then when it came time to do Chrono Cross, it wasn't what anyone was expecting it to be. It is a direct sequel, but it's a direct sequel only if you like really take the time to explore the game and understand why it's a sequel. And that set a lot of people off because, again, you spend so much time with that beloved cast of characters. You want to see their story continue, and while technically their story is continued, it's not in the direct way you would expect.
I always hate when
plus
that shit happens, though. I hate when like I, as a creative, like a person, I love when people make risks, but I feel like you can't blame those risks on the audience. You should know going into it, there is a chance that this might not hit, and in which case you shouldn't blame the audience. Not that they technically blame the audience, but obviously, like, if they didn't give it another chance, then they really had to have in some sort of way blame the audience, right?
Yeah, and also the other two major things Chrono Cross had going against it at the time is it had a very unique combat system. Every character had kind of like an
Oh no, there he goes.
Rest in peace.
I think another one of the big things was it was kind of like an unfortunate like time
where there was kind of like a gambit to like holding off on your turns.
Hold on, David. You went quiet again for a second, so Kyle's decided to take the reins real quick.
No. You're completely good.
No, he's not.
Oh no, God.
Yeah, look at that! Look at that stance he's holding on you. Oh, never mind. All right, he's back.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Welcome back, David.
Hell yeah, an enemy stand must have caused this. So yeah, I don't know where we cut off because where it cut off for me is you saying why. System. Yeah, so it's almost kind of like Bravely Default, where the more you kind of like stock your turns, you get different modifications to your attacks. And then it kind of developed further the idea of like the combo attacks between all the characters. So it was a very unique kind of blended combo system at the time. The other thing is that the fucking roster is massive in Chrono Cross. I think there's like 40 playable characters.
Which I remember.
And a lot of them are stupidly easily missable.
Right. I remember when we completed Chrono Trigger, I was curious about the sequel. And I think the fun part and why we're always so eager to bring back Games Gone By is it's cool to see someone completely outside of that realm sort of react and give them the real time news of everything, right? So when I finished Chrono Trigger, I was really I had a good time with Chrono Trigger. I would love to replay it again, actually, especially because I kind of
it's a beautiful game.
Fucked my way into the end. Remember, we had to take an extra week on that, or an extra day, or I forget if it was an extra day or extra week.
Yeah, because you got to the end and then you were really struggling with the kind of final boss area.
Yeah, because I didn't min-max because I don't play RPGs in that realm. I'm very new to those, so I min-maxed very, very incorrectly. And had a very tough time with that boss. So I might need a guide going into my second playthrough, which is fine. But I remember asking about how Chrono Cross worked, and you guys kind of surprising me at how different it was. and how it was like,
Yeah.
well, only a couple characters show up, and really it's like a bunch of different characters this time, and it really goes against the heart of Chrono Trigger, I think, which is like, here's your core cast, and you're gonna really develop a bond with all of them. Versus here's 40, and a bunch of them are missable. So really, what weight do they have?
I think that's I was kind of like trying to touch on it whenever you're cutting out. I feel like it's a big thing to do with like the technology at the time. They were trying
Yeah.
to push for more and more wasn't necessarily the right thing to do there.
No, because like Star Ocean made a big deal of that as well, with a lot of kind of missable or recruitable characters. The Ogre Battle series was kind of doing that with their entries at the time. I think even Xenogears had a lot of like missable characters. I don't know why. That was just a big prevalent thing for a lot of RPGs, was just to have massive casts and enhance the replayability by making a lot of them missable, so that way you were kind of forced to go back through and kind of re-experience it and try to find the hidden characters.
Right. I would love for us to I mean, I would love to try Chrono Trigger again too, honestly. But I wonder how they would be.
I definitely want to replay it. I haven't replayed it as like a grown adult, so I need to.
I replay it every couple of years, so I'm down to go back through it again.
I wonder how it'd be if we did that back to back, though. I want to give Chrono Cross a fair shake. It does bum me out that never took off. They went for something so grand and it just didn't take off, and they decided to say just fuck it and not throw it in there. But I mean, I guess they have tried, right? Like Chrono Trigger DS was a valiant attempt at like reviving it. But
yeah,
as far as I'm aware, it didn't sell that great.
No, it's hard to say if it actually didn't sell great, because Square for a long fucking time has had very skewed metrics of what selling great is.
7 million for Tomb Raider.
Yeah, and underperformed.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like that it might have come a little bit late in the DS era. I feel like if it hit kind of in that prime time DS era, it probably would have sold better. I feel like,
Also,
you know what?
if
If it was a 3DS
I don't even
game,
remember that. Honestly, if it would have been a 3DS game, maybe 100%. But also, I don't even remember that game getting much fanfare when it came out. Like, I had no idea that Chrono Trigger had a DS remake until I fucking saw it on game shelves one day.
I remember shouts to Carson way back when did an unboxing of it. And I remember his video vividly where he was unboxing it and he was like, "Oh, look, cool, a poster." And he pulled it out and he ripped it. And he had to like on the spot make a joke about it. So he goes, "Oh, cool, a poster. I ripped it." Oh,
fucking hell.
I miss Carson. I actually hit him up recently because he's selling a bunch of his game collection.
Hell yeah.
So I dipped in there asking how much he wants for some of the stuff. Yeah, so that's the time I heard of it. But yeah, it sucks that I didn't really get the love it probably deserved. But I also don't trust them to come back with a remake, or a proper remake, not just like a reimagining, you know, because it's like.
Well, here's the thing: is Square has a lot of Square's smaller studios can fucking knock it out of the park. They just have to give their properties to their smaller studios. And Square seems very. It's kind of like Capcom, where if it's not what their immediate moneymakers are, they're reticent on letting their IPs in the hands of someone else.
But yeah, I guess. Never mind.
Because like, what was because fucking Capcom is, again, I it's almost a meme at this point for me. But like, Chris also backed me up on this of like, where the fuck is Breath of Fire?
Can we appreciate though that at least, what is it, Sega and Capcom are both like adamantly like, you know what, we're gonna go through and do some old IPs now.
I appreciate that they're doing it.
I hope they stick with it. I want to see the results of it first.
We got to see the results. Capcom, granted, has dipped into the well of what you would expect at this point, which is fucking Street Fighter for a lot of it.
Okami, though, is a great step.
That's a
Onimusha?
fucking banger.
Onimusha.
Onimusha is another
Okay,
one.
so Sega doing that whole thing recently. Remember where they had like Jet Set Radio?
Yeah, we got like
and-
6 remakes
What if
coming out.
The Xbox One is for Devil May Cry 6.
Mm.
Ooh, that sounds about
Or
right.
that-
Or
Because Devil May Cry
Beautiful Joe.
didn't Devil May Cry have a thing with Xbox?
Yeah, it was one of the big ones for Xbox One, I believe.
I wonder if they'll recast Dante though.
I think it might be a complete reboot because the director for Devil May Cry is now gone, right?
Oh, that's right. He's gone. Dante's voice actor has gone off the fucking rails, and
Yeah, they might pull a DMC.
I mean that's fine as long as they actually make it fucking good.
I could see that Devil May Cry. That's a good call. That might be it.
Yeah, especially with Capcom popping off here recently. Like here. there's a
Yeah,
reveal
I
for
think you
new
nailed it.
Xbox.
Everyone in the chat, or everyone in the Twitter threads are like, Persona. I'm like, it's not Persona. What the fuck are you guys talking about? It's not Persona. No shit. I'd be
No.
shocked.
Way too soon.
Especially
No,
after
I think the murmurs have projected like Persona 6 reveal will be like around summer.
it'll be its own reveal. They can get away with it now.
Yeah,
But after Metaphor, they need to let that Metaphor sales sizzle for a little while.
exactly.
Let's do. Yep.
Basically, wait for its year anniversary ish around that time, which I think would put it around summer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm curious to see what's going on with Xbox.
Do we think, just to cut off and transition, do we think the Switch 2 reveal this week? I think it is.
Yeah, they said Wario 64 is expected for the 16th. So
Yeah,
this might be the last time you see us before we know what the Switch 2 looks like.
I mean, we already know what the Switch 2 looks like at this point. There have been so many
Officially.
fucking leaks of the fucking goddamn
So,
console at this point.
That's what makes me bummed that they're not showing games too, because like we already.
Well, here's the thing: is supposedly the launch lineup has also been leaked.
Oh. What's
I
that?
haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I saw it as I was
Yeah,
leaving
don't
work
hold out.
earlier
Did
today.
your uncle tell you or what?
You can't just say that.
No, I saw it on Spawnwave. That the leech, the
Okay, I
fuck,
like Spawnwave.
yeah, he does some decent stuff.
I would
Uh,
like to believe that there is a big lineup because there was no Mario Kart, no brand new Mario Kart for the entirety of the Switch, which is the first time in Nintendo console history that there was not a new Mario Kart. Smash has been done
Jesus
since
Christ,
2018.
25 games.
I believe it. What's the list, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm looking for like they're doing the whole thing where they're like telling you everything.
David, speak up a little bit so your fan isn't in the way.
God damn it.
Sorry, I was trying to find the article here, and I'm not.
I think Kells has it.
Oh, does
Well,
Kells have it?
they did the thing where it's like, oh yeah, it's 25 line. They just kind of like skip around it.
Oh, gotcha.
So Mario Kart 9 was for sure listed on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it said Mario Kart and it said Rainbow Road is what, or
Mm.
like Rainbow something.
I mean, obviously, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a launch as well.
Right. Yeah, Mario Kart Rainbow Road Edition.
And don't expect every big hitter to obviously be launched. It'll be a full year launch or a full year lineup, I think. So if there's a Super Mario game, it'll be probably around late summer or
Dude, if
the
Metroid
fall.
4 launches with the Switch 2, that would be insane.
I think it does.
I'm
That
pretty
would
sure
be
it does.
insane.
Also, I'm pretty sure Legend ZA is slated to be
I
one
can
of
see
the
that too.
launch titles.
If that launches with, when's the last time a Pokemon game's launched like in the springtime? Because they're usually like a November launch, aren't they?
Well, usually, but you also got to remember that this is like a spin-off Pokemon.
I know
Technically.
that. I'm just saying that's crazy that we're gonna get one like this early in the year.
because
Well,
Legends
didn't,
Legends
Arceus-
was January.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't fucking
Arceus
know,
is
yeah.
January.
So I mentioned this to our chat, and I kind of want to mention it, or to you guys. I kind of mentioned it on here. In hindsight, it sort of makes sense, right? we wonder why Nintendo was holding off for so long, and I kept leaning on the fact that they announced
Building up a
Switch.
lineup.
Yeah, well, they announced Switch in October, right? I keep forgetting that Nintendo was fucked back then.
Yeah, they were hemorrhaging from the Wii U.
The Wii U was dead. The 3DS was dying. I wasn't like popping off at all. So they announced Switch in October amidst the holiday sales to be like, we know our holiday sales are gonna be fucked. So here's a heads up as to what's coming in the future. Makes sense. The Switch is still selling. Switch.
I unironically think they were waiting to have like a final confirmation they outsold the PS2 before they.
I think I on it. No. I'm not far off there. The Switch stuff, like Switch could still unironically live one more year. And still,
Yeah, one, and that's it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. One more year and still make the sales it needs to, and then have a console next year. Nintendo doesn't need a stockpile of games that far though, so they can push out this year. That's fine. But I do think they wanted to avoid overlapping the holiday sales with the announcements of a Switch 2.
Yeah.
I think that makes total sense.
Get that one final revenue major push, and then here you go, start new for the next year.
Right. I think it'll pass the because how far are we off the PS2 now?
I think it was almost neck and neck last I looked at it.
Yeah. So I think
Because there's no more hidden warehouses of PS2s to be found.
right. So I think once they do that, if they drop the price of the Switch down to like 150, I think you're good. You're set. They just want to make that final manufacturer push, get them out there, and then make Switch 2. Switch 2, what's the price, and are we sold day one? I'm sold day one, I think. I don't.
I'm sold day one. I'm projecting based on everything that's been talked about.
400?
All the hardware, yeah, all the hardware puts in around like a PS4 Pro, so 400 sounds like a fair price.
Yeah, all the leaks I'm showing are saying it's $399 retail.
And then that's fine.
Yeah. Don't have to
yeah.
think about it at that price, honestly.
No, honestly, I don't.
Especially with the backwards compatibility, that's the big thing. If they didn't have backwards compatibility, that would be a much harder sell. But they'd be dumb not to, because they can still keep selling their Switch games and reaping the benefits on the Switch too.
Do we get this? Do you think? I'm curious. This is totally off topic, not really something that's like. Do we think we get Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD finally?
I could see them starting to do more collections.
I hate that they're stuck on the fucking Wii U.
Yeah, I could see that the Switch 2, because we've seen them try to bring back a lot more of the because that was a big defining thing with the Switch,
Right.
was trying to bring a lot more of that back on it and getting you to rebuy it. And they dabbled for anniversaries of going ahead and doing collections. I see that being the new norm, where we start to get anniversary collections for a lot of series.
Sort of like Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah, so I think we get like a 3D All Stars 2.
If we got
I think we
3D
get
All
like
Stars,
a Zelda All Stars.
Yeah, if we get a 3D All Stars of like Ocarina, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker, and oof, that's a good ass collection right there.
I seen also, I guess there's been a leak as to what the new button on it means too. I guess it's like a community button.
Yeah.
They didn't mention that Miiverse style stuff is coming back.
That would be really cool, especially if they integrate that to be like their main like online platform.
I think that the idea is that
direct message people and shit.
it's sort of like
Yeah.
TikTok, but I mean that'd be cool if you could do your video game clips like that, right?
Well,
Catch
they said
them.
you're gonna have the option to like direct message people too, so it'll be like a way to interface within.
Send David some fuck yous.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally, Nintendo in the year 2025 figuring out how fucking DMs work.
Right.
I vaguely recall them talking about like it being a TikTok, and I can imagine that being just flooded with a bunch of like screen recordings, right? Like here's a funny moment from Smash, or here's a funny moment from Mario
Yeah.
Kart, or whatever, and that'd be a pretty easy integration.
I mean, that's the wild thing with Nintendo is they can basically do whatever the fuck they want, and they're gonna do weird, kooky shit. I think the more interesting question is the Switch the final form of Nintendo at this point? Let's fast forward another 7 years. Is it Switch 3 that we get, or do you think we ever might see like another proper console from Nintendo again?
Yeah, it is weird, right? Because they went from having like a distinct like mobile portable gaming market and a console market, and now they're like, nah, fuck it, we're just gonna do.
So
Because the Wii U, when you look back on it in retrospect, feels like it was just too early for what it wanted to do, and it does really, in retrospect, feel like the prototype for the Switch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it for sure is.
So it kind of makes me wonder if like this is just Nintendo now as the hybrid console.
I could see
is
that.
just always-
I could see that being a thing, being a tablet style console. Yeah, no, I think, yeah.
But it's weird though because it's almost like you're just like I don't know. It kind of like loses the identity a little bit. I feel like.
Lose identity. Nintendo loses identity because it's like Nintendo is always synonymous with Switch from now on, right? Like,
Yeah, and especially because it made sense before because there was no real competitors in the market, but now with Steam Deck, Lenovo's
Yeah.
hitting the market.
I was about to say all the renders for it make it look just like a.
you know
fucking,
what?
like,
I
Steam
could see
Deck
them
or
going all in for Switch, but then if everything gets flooded and Switch 2 sales aren't as big as Switch, I see them doing something crazy again. But I think they have to keep the dual thing again though. Like whether or not it's Switch or whether it's called something else, I think the dual thing has to stay because I remember going into the Switch. Remember how Nintendo consoles sort of had always this drought, right? There was always this drought at some point, like usually towards the end of the console, like, okay, we're gonna like not get anything for a while. I feel like I remember going into Switch being like, okay, well, if they have all their teams no longer having to worry about the 3DS or the Wii U, they're all consolidated. I remember them always thinking like there's not gonna be a drought, and there wasn't really a drought, right? Like, yeah, it's the big titles, the big hitters have dried up. We still keep getting games.
Yeah, the cruel
so
irony
much
is the
big
biggest
drop
drought
off.
of the Switch was when it launched.
Yeah.
which is so weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even then, a drought is called Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart, dude. Like that's the
Oh,
drought.
you're forgetting 1-2 Switch.
Nope, didn't forget that.
Fuck right off then. Yeah.
Did not forget that.
But right, like right now we're still getting Echoes of Wisdom. We're getting Mario Luigi Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Both of which I got, by the way. I just realized I got those.
I got to pick those up soon.
I did the thing. So for my birthday, I got a $21 GameStop gift card, and the thing I always do is I always right after Christmas, GameStop always does a buy two get one on pre-owned games. I
Yep.
always just buy 2 or 3 copies of one game that I wanted and just flip them on eBay. So I got 2 copies of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, got 1 copy of Brotherhood, and got that for $80 shipped. And then I sold 1 copy of Echoes of Wisdom for on eBay for like $45 or $50.
Hell yeah.
Done. So 2 copies of the game for $30. That's always that's the deal. Is just sell that other copy for like $45. It pays for itself. Easy. But I mean, we're still getting those games, right? Where there's not really been a drought on the scale of what the Wii U dealt with, right? Or what 3DS
No,
dealt with.
the only real the only 2 major complaints the Switch has had in its lifespan is one unoptimized game performance, which honestly we've seen devs pull off amazing things with the hardware.
The Witcher
So,
3.
Witcher 3, Doom Eternal, there's been plenty of games that have pulled off amazing things with the hardware. Yeah, it's still long in the tooth, don't get me wrong, but
We can make it one more
Also,
year.
let's-
Like, as much as we don't want to, as much as I'm glad we're getting a Switch 2, because I personally think we need it. If Nintendo wanted to, they could drag it out one more year.
Yeah,
And
like
the-
Pokemon looks and plays like shit, but it's not because of the hardware. It's because of the
No.
fucking
Shout out to
people
Game
making
Freak.
it. Yeah.
Look, they're a small indie developer. They don't have the resources to optimize their game code.
It's so funny how like just the money from the TCG alone isn't enough to like uplift it somehow.
They just,
Fuck.
but here's the thing, they know people buy it.
Well, that's the thing, because the games are just there as a marketing tool for you to buy the plushies and all the other bullshit that they actually make money on.
Shout out to
cards,
me
that's
buying
dirty
14
money,
Fueco
dude.
goes.
Right.
But like that's
Guilty.
the so fucking like that's the shittiest thing. Before I go down that rant, the other thing that was a major knock, which honestly I don't understand the hatred and vitriol for it, was the fact that a lot of the Switch's library was defined by re-releases of older Nintendo properties. But you know what? I'm cool with that. We finally have one fucking platform that you can play the entirety of the fucking Xenoblade series.
Ace
on.
Attorney, all one platform.
Ace
baby.
Attorney, the entire fucking platform. There you go. Bam, enjoy. I mean, granted, you can do that on PS4 as well, but damn right, I fucking got it all on Switch because I want that shit portable.
I don't know.
That's Persona 4 and 5 on there, so
Mhm. Persona.
just wait until we get the rest of them on there.
Oh, fucking
Dude,
A.
I'm not gonna play Persona 3 portable on Switch, but dude, I told
But
David.
you have it.
I told David this. I told you this. I'm like, it looks so sexy on the fucking on the right there somewhere, dude. Persona 3, 4, 5 together. Ooh, David, imagine we get Persona 1 and 2.
I wish I had gotten
Aw.
those on PS5, but I got the Xbox versions thinking they were going to be rare.
Sorry,
were
David.
not.
They're
Everyone fucking went on the Xbox versions for some fucking reason.
by the
I'm
way,
really hoping the new Doom Dark Age game comes out on
Oh.
Nintendo Switch so I can have all the Doom games on Switch still.
I forgot to mention.
Somehow.
Yeah, it'll come out
on
on a streaming version.
No. I need the cartridge, just like Eternal.
I forgot to mention. I got this Steam Deck case from Tom Talk.
Yep.
I don't know if you could tell.
What the fuck?
It's a bag.
But it's at least got these cool thumbstick protectors.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, which I appreciate because I really dislike. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, but it's not great either. I really don't care for the OEM Steam Deck case. It's all right.
It's fine,
Yeah,
but
it's okay, but it's not really a practical one if you want to take your Steam Deck like traveling or anything. Because you got to throw that there and got to figure out what to do with the cords and all that. But I heard really good reviews about this bag, and I got it for cheap. So
hell yeah.
shout outs to them. David, any other stories?
The only other things to kind of go over real quick. Fuck, now I lost my. Shouts to Gamers Nexus, who is also filing
Fuck
a lawsuit
Honey.
against Honey and PayPal. They're going after both.
Which they knew.
Yeah. Also, shout outs to Gamers Nexus for once again calling out Linus Cut Tips. Good old hard R Linus not Torvald. Goddamn, that's the good Linus. Linus Sebastian. Fucking ridiculous. Linus apparently put out a statement on his podcast saying he wasn't going to call out Honey because if he did, too many people would jump down his throat for potentially hurting the earnings of small creators that make money from Honey. Fuck off.
So
Fuck off.
there was a giant. If you haven't kept up with the internet, cause have you kept up with this
For which part?
for Honey?
Yeah, I've been kind of watching from the sidelines.
So if out there, if you have not heard, and it makes sense, right? Like I have wondered this too, and I was an avid
Yeah.
Honey user. But I did notice a couple things along the way I just never really thought of because I just didn't really care. But Honey was outed as stealing referral codes essentially from anyone, like because they're always the last person that you click, whether they have a coupon for you or not. If you ever click inside that bubble where it says like, "Hey, we couldn't find a coupon, go to checkout," or if you ever click anything besides the X, you essentially they sniped the referral code for the sale. So
Yeah, they'd basically scrape your cookies and replace any referrals with ones that were through them, so they are made any money to be made.
right. So let's say Linus, David's favorite person, did have a review for something, and they had a referral code. Rightfully so. As much as you hate them, they do deserve that money on there.
Yeah.
In which case, if you went to checkout and looked for a code via Honey, or even clicked, there's no code, just go to checkout, Honey would overwrite Linus's referral code, taking all the money for that, which was potentially about, I think, the person that sort of like blew this all out there found there like $30 of revenue that was taken from them when they did their own referral code versus Honey's,
Yeah.
which Honey would only give back about a 1% discount around there, 5% discount, something around there, where it's like 89 cents versus $30, right? So that's the way, and it makes sense, right? In hindsight, we're like, how the fuck did Money make all this honey? Honey make all his money, yeah. Honey make all his,
Yeah.
hell yeah. How did they do that? But yeah, that's what they were making their bread and butter off of. And they would also partner with websites to make sure you don't see the bigger deals they have.
Yeah.
So if a Blue Rupees has a 30% off coupon, Honey would only show you the welcome 10% off coupon.
Speaking of which, I still never got that ad revenue money.
Oh my god! Every time I fucking remember. We're gonna every time we bring it up, by the time the podcast ends, I just forget. We'll remember this.
I'll remember at some point as you're sending me money for the trip. I'll remember at some point to tell you.
Next paycheck, remind me, and I'll throw that on you.
All right.
Because I every time, I swear to God, because we're tired, we're like, all right, we'll see you guys later, and then just never a thing.
I completely out of sight, out of mind, None. I don't think of it until we're talking about shit like this. I'm just to go, wait a second. I did ad reads for a while. Where's my money?
God damn it, you Obi! I fucking read this guy's ad, motherfucker. It's sitting on a PayPal account somewhere. I gotta fucking remember it.
I sold out. Part of selling out is actually getting something for it.
Yeah, it's part of selling out is also remembering the PayPal account. So Honey's slimy.
Yeah.
So shout outs to them for a class action lawsuit on that, because that's ridiculous.
I hope they get fucked.
True.
It makes sense, right? Because you think about it, like PayPal
Well,
or
because
eBay,
like that's why
eBay paying $4 billion for Honey. It goes beyond just like you assuming they're selling your data.
Yeah.
That's
Because like
fucked.
that was the thing, is like I stopped using Honey ages ago because I did notice that like at a certain point they were never finding deals. And I'm like, fuck you. I see YouTubers advertising for fucking codes all the like it war I think not Wario 64, but like Slopes Game Room. Slopes Game Room was a big one that like he had a lot of promo codes. I'm like, how the fuck are you not finding these codes? So I stopped using it, and I don't know why back then I didn't make the fucking connection that was what was going on, because it's the most obvious shit in hindsight.
Yeah, and I would just Google search codes at some point too. I was like, hey, Google
Yeah.
search this, and you'd find
And
like
that's
bigger codes.
still the
anywhere
way
else.
to do it now.
Yep. So yeah, they're gonna get fucked, I think. 'Cause I think there was a law about that at some point that someone mentioned.
Yeah, it kind of. I haven't finished watching the Gamers Nexus video, but he had a lot of different kind of lawyers with expertise talking about it. And I think one of the things they touched on is it did kind of delve into like anti-competitor suits and whatnot.
Right.
Well, it's also defrauding
Yeah.
potential like ad investors and stuff like that.
It's
because
not
of the
mentioning it
skewing
either.
numbers.
Correct.
Right.
So failing to report how your product works and
Also, it's just fucked that you
Using
think
under false pretenses.
you think about it though. It's like they sponsored people they fucked, which is so wild to me, right? Like that's
It's
so
crazy. Yep.
weird. Like, hey, we're gonna pay you to advertise our product, which is gonna fuck you tenfold.
yup.
sadistic, like, genuinely, dude. Anything else, David?
The last thing to talk about was the game that had a little bit of a story to it that I want to posit to you individuals.
Oh, right, the AI stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me regale you with the tale. I'll keep it trimmed down a little bit, but let me regale you with the tale. So there is a game that I've kind of been curious on playing myself, and it's one I almost want to suggest to you two to play. But there's one thing that almost has me pumping the brakes. So let me explain. The game in question is called Wooden Ocean. Are you two familiar with this at all?
Mm-hmm.
This is a massively fucking obscure game. It is insane how obscure it is. So it's an RPG Maker game. That even on Steam right now, I think there's only like a couple hundred reviews for it. It had a not massive, but like massive for her community YouTuber talk about the game, and it still is so fucking obscure. The subreddit has only 80 people on it. Like even getting someone that contributed to the success and like widespread popularity of Fear and Hunger, not getting a game to get propagated the same way is fascinating to see. Fucking no one is talking about this goddamn game. It's fucking wild. This is a game that has been developed by one person, and they've been developing and working on this game for the last 12 years. The game was finished 8 years ago. And if it was 8 years ago we were talking about it, this would be a non-conversation. We would be playing it and having a fascinating time. But over time, the creator basically got to a point where instead of just considering the game done and working on a sequel, he went back on it to keep re-adding things to it and tweaking, and is basically for the past 8 years just adding and tweaking and developing more to it, and just basically being a hardcore perfectionist and making the game as distinct and unique as possible. He has been RPG Maker so much that it's unrecognizable at this point as an RPG Maker game.
Okay, what is it called?
It's called Wooden Ocean. Now, here is where the problem comes in. Is again, if we were talking about this game when it was completed 8 years ago, this would be a non-conversation. But in the last couple years, with the advent of new technology, he has started to use AI to make adjustments to his game. There's one instance of it where I'm like, you know what? Fair play. I will actually say you used AI in an ethical way. One of the ways he's done it is for some of the spells in the game. And this is the kind of argument he brought up, is like, look, fucking no one needs to see the same handmade animation for a goddamn fireball over and over again. So what I did and he was just using this as an example, talking about it with the community, is I fed it pictures with my mom's permission of my mom in high school. And I trained it just on those pictures. And I said, all right, using these pictures, walking potato. And then went back in Photoshop, tweaked a couple things, and then that was what he used for the animation for a fireball. That, I'll say, fair play. You explicitly trained an AI that you hosted yourself on your own content. It's still a little sketchy that it's, a family member, but family member said it was okay to do. And then you went back in and you tweaked it further to make it a distinct item. I will say that is the closest to ethical that you can get using AI. Fine. The one area where I have a hard time giving my okay and just making it a non-issue is you remember that fucking AI music program you showed me a while back there? Yes, he does use that for some of the tracks in the game. And that is where I put the hard stop, because that is using stolen material to go ahead and create. And again, the game was done 8 years ago. He didn't need to go back and edit and tweak any of the shit that he has. For the spells and the animations, feeding it his own self-generated content and then tweaking it further, again, hats off to you. That is the only time I will say AI is ethical, is when it's your own generated content you're training AI on. but the fact that he's using Suno to go back and retroactively add in new music, basically using the foundation of stolen music for that, that's where I have a pause. I do think it's a fascinating game. I do think it's a fascinating legacy, and I think it's actually a really interesting thing to talk about because of how wildly obscure it is while still having like one of the most hardcore dedicated fan bases. And again, staying obscure despite bigger YouTubers in, you know, the RPG Maker scene talking about it. So I think it's like it falls in that category where it's like it's a game worth having a conversation around, but because of my own hard ethics on AI, it's hard for me to just full stop say it's something worth playing.
So-
And that's why I want to posit it to you two.
You say 8 years ago, so it was finished in 2016. Then
Correct.
Then since then, it's updated with AI stuff.
Correct.
I'm gonna throw it to Kels. Kels, what do you think first?
I think it's a case of like why creatives need to have some sort of management or oversight.
Sometimes it's good to have someone say no.
Yeah, like having one person on the project isn't always the best thing, right? Like,
Not ever
especially
gonna
it
be
sounds
Stardew
like
Valley.
well, even there, I mean, he's been working on it, fine tuning it, perfecting it. I mean, sometimes, like, yes, maybe it does need that, but maybe it's not all needed. Like, it could have had its final update and probably been just fine.
That's what I worry
But
about sometimes when I
keeps
make
wanting to
stuff.
come back.
I'm like, I know I'm that kind of person where I'm like, I keep wanting to tweak it so it's perfect. But I have always lived my life by a phrase I've heard. I
It's
forgot where I heard
perfectly
it.
fine for things not to be perfect. I mean, if you stare at the Mona Lisa too long, you're gonna find rough edges. You
I
play like
Especially now.
yeah, you play the best game. I mean, you're gonna find
I-
the rough edges there.
I've
The
always
rough edges don't make it bad. The rough edges make it unique.
right. I agree. I've always lived my life by this phrase I've heard, which is it's something that I told this to my students. I've kind of given this as a life advice too. It makes sense to us now, not less them now, but always pencils down, turn the page, right? You had that point in your SAT where it's like, all right, done, move on. You cannot touch it anymore. And I feel like I've always appreciated shows that do that, like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, be able to like, we're done, move on. I always appreciate being able to like, all right, you're good.
Yeah,
done.
well, they came back with El Camino, so they ain't really.
That and
Yeah,
that's
right.
fair. That's fair. That's totally fair. But I do still appreciate the fact that they were like, because what I do appreciate though is because if you recall, I don't know if you were watching Breaking Bad when it was out, like coming out, but AMC wanted to essentially canceled Breaking Bad.
They wanted to cancel it
Yeah.
after like the first season, right?
They canceled. They wanted to cancel it essentially at season 6, and they were like, it was done, and then it started ramping up on Netflix and getting bigger, and they're like, oh shit, hey Vince, can you make more? And he's like, the fuck? No. I just ended it. I just wrote down the ending. No, it's done. So that's why like the end of it kind of ramps up pretty quickly, and I kind of finished it a little bit faster than you would expect. I think Vince Gilligan initially, I could be talking total shit right now. It could be totally different show, but I'm fairly confident I'm talking right. That it could have gone for another season or two, but it didn't, because they said, all right, you're done after this, and he's like, all right, cool, let me just wrap it up then. And that could be the issue with or that was an issue with BoJack Horseman that happened too, where BoJack was also slated to go for like another season or two, and then Netflix like, nope, cut it off, and he's like, all right, cool, and then wrapped it up after that last season. But I appreciate that they can do that. I do
It's
find
the reason why
myself.
I love Sopranos. It's just that hard stop.
I
that
need to
hard
watch that
end,
show, but I'm
perfect.
so enthralled. I'm so enamored by the way they stopped it. I can't wait to watch that show
Perfect
one day.
show. It's so good.
So Suno is a funny like haha thing if I want to make a dumb song about a woman tripping or stubbing her toe on a grape in the middle of the night after a drunk night on the town. Like, all right, cool, haha, that was funny. I don't like it being used for more extensive purposes because, as we're gonna say, I am assuming it made some money, even if it didn't make some money.
That's the other key thing is if this was a free game, again, I wouldn't argue against it. I'd have a little bit of a qualm.
I'd be apprehensive towards it, but it's free. You know what? Not everyone can afford to do a bunch of stuff for a free project. If you're making money, you can afford to find a friend that does some music to do something in there.
And this is a $20 game, so you easily over the last 8 years could have found someone to go ahead and do a track or two here and there for you.
So it says it was released in 2020, David. Was it released 4 years earlier or somewhere else?
Yes, so this is where it gets into the obscurity of this game. Is this, again, this was originally an RPG.
God damn it.
Yeah, I think whenever there's people making money off of AI generated stuff is
A
whenever
few
I
years
kinda get
back.
upset by it.
Sorry, you cut out again.
God damn it. So this was originally released in like RPG Maker forums back in the day.
$20
And then
as well.
over I don't remember what the charge was for it back then, because the older information about the game is a little bit more obscure to find. But it is one of those things that you basically had to like know where to go to find it before. And then like 20 I think it was like 2020 or yeah, it's like 2020, 2019.
So-
he started putting it on like Steam and Itch and
Let-
going from there.
One question: what's his has he had a reply about the AI usage of music in since then?
The only thing is said is that for his AI art, he will go ahead and give, and he's done. There's a text file when you download the game for what he's used to generate the AI art and how he's
But
manipulated
never
it.
for the music. Like he never said why he used Suno.
No, he just liked the way it sounded, and that was the full stop. He's like, I fully know that the fact that I'm using AI is enough to turn some people away from ever giving this game a try, and that's fine.
So, if there was a reason for it, maybe, like if there was an in-game reason for it, or if that's the gimmick of the game. So, like, I think one of the, like, I'll occasionally, I'm not gonna, we'll see if I end up buying one, but like some of them are like those dumb AI response like games where it's like, say something to the character. I just I saw Moist Kirkle play a little bit of a detective game where you got to ask the AI questions and it'll ask you, it'll respond back.
That.
Yeah. In which case, if that's a gimmick, then sure. Like, I think there's a room, a small room, but I think there's a room for AI usage of some sorts in the creative field. But I think it's a very fine line, and I just think we lose a lot of humanity by the use or overusage of AI in art, right? Like the whole point of AI is supposed to be to make the menial tasks easier for us to alleviate our lives to be more creative. It should never have been to the
means
creative.
to be creative. Yeah.
Right. That's gross, and it's weird, and really it comes off so stale. Like you can be as creative as you want, and yeah, Suno again. Suno is, and I've used Suno even like a few nights ago. Just again after a year or whatever I first used it. It's funny, haha. But if you listen to 400 Suno songs versus 400 human-made songs, even generic pop song, like you're gonna hear a lot of staleness and lack of creative branching in the AI generated stuff because it's all amalgamation, right? It's all get all this information, join it all together, mashed all together, boom, here's your thing. It may sound good, but it's not of substance, So
Yeah.
I think part of it is you are being lazy. You're doing a service to your own game because, okay, it sounds cool, but have you heard the music, right? Like, if you're adding Suno music to this, and I don't know how what the extent of the music they added to it is it like extreme?
It's used for like some boss songs. So,
but see, boss
it's
songs are
hard-
like, that's so dumb because boss songs are like some of the most iconic music in RPGs.
So it's hard to lift the veil a little bit. A lot of the concept of the game is the thematics of an artist struggling with his own creation,
which is
and
fine.
so
And I get
the idea.
I get it.
I get it.
I get it. But are you not admitting? Well, I get if you're doing that thematically, I guess, but thematically you're kind of it's a lazy way, right? It's like thematically the artist needs to go through AI to make exactly there's the word, it's a cop out, whereas like
Thematically it's a fucking cop out.
Thank
Fuck
you. but dude, even I'm thinking right now, if I was making a game, which again I would love to maybe someday like make a game like that, if I have the option to make some fucking badass like boss music versus some AI schlop that's like so generic, even though it sounds cool, deep down it's generic because it's built to be generic. It's literally like it's an amalgamation. I would much rather like shell out the money and find someone that can make some badass fucking boss music than AI stuff. Because again, you don't even have that much direction in the AI stuff. Like
no,
you are minimizing your own input in there. So what I would say with this is I put it on the wish list because I would love to check it out to see the context of it. I think you're doing this. I think I'll say this. When most of it's original, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I think you're not hindering anyone else really. You could have helped someone else, right? You could have paid someone else and joined them in on this, but I think you're doing yourself an incredible creative disservice by copping out to AI versus finding your own stuff, right? But I am curious to check it out just because I do not want to dismiss an entire project based off just some bad decisions and some minor usage of AI. These were coming.
Kels, what was your thoughts there?
No, I mean that's my thoughts as well. I mean it's just lame cop out. I mean, don't be a lazy bastard. If you want to include that music so bad, make it.
Yeah, and also don't be cheap.
Yeah, don't be a cheap bitch.
You're clearly making some kind of money. You mean to tell me in 8 years you couldn't fucking
learn to do it yourself if you're gonna be cheap.
Dude, because I imagine the game was pretty solid if he had his following.
Yeah, it has a loyal small, but again, and that's what's so fascinating about this is like just how minuscule the following is, but how fervent they are.
But dude,
like,
you have your opportunity to make your fucking claim into boss music, bro. Like if I made an RPG, let it be known if there is a universe, and maybe it's this one, who knows? Maybe there's a universe where Adrian makes his RPG game, right? Lord, let it be known, I am trying my best to fucking make, what is it? Why am I blanking on the fucking name? Hold on. I'm so mad I'm blanking on the name right now.
Adrian's gonna make a dating sim.
Ooh.
No. You better, no, I don't know why I blanked on the name. You better like bet I am trying to make my own like Megalovania, right?
Well, that was actually gonna be where I was gonna go. Where after you were done, that is like, you know, say what you will about Undertale. Undertale would not be Undertale without its fucking.
Yeah.
Well, it's fucking.
Yeah, he's gone again. But yeah, the OST.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? Like RPGs.
One of the most iconic parts. Yeah.
As someone that doesn't even play like many RPGs, like the music is like part of like the fucking.
To be fair, that one is in Smash, so you.
Well, I was gonna say, and that's the other thing too. Like, go back to every fucking reveal trailer.
I actually played
every reaction.
I played Undertale before Smash.
True,
okay.
But like truly, go back to every reaction for that fucking trailer.
When you hear
the second those first couple notes happened,
and everyone's like, "Oh, right? Like so you did like you only hear for the first two notes and you're good. But like let it be known, like if I make an RPG ever, like better be known that I'm trying to make my own Megalovania, right? Like I think like
Yeah,
making a
right.
badass boss music in a fucking RPG is like one of the coolest shit you can do, right? How you can like lazy cop out to fucking Suno is beyond me. Like
Yeah, completely agree.
I don't know, I get that I get the 8-year struggle of like making the game and just having to like how are you gonna be perfectionist though when you're not gonna make the perfect fucking boss music though? That's kind of bizarre to me. Maybe at that point it was like burnout and just I want to be done with this. But
he's still updating it today, so that's the wild
Yeah.
thing. So again, he finished it 8 years ago, so and the game was already in development for 4 years up to that point. So that's why I in total he's been working on it for 12 years.
I don't know, that's crazy. I think if you had told me anything else like design or something, if it's a pixel art and you told me design of it was a little bit
And it is pixel art, yeah.
Yeah, if it's that and a little bit of his help with AI, okay, that's kind of annoying, but whatever. But like the music being AI when it's so synonymous with like, I don't know, just think back to Chrono Trigger fucking music for fuck's sake, right? Like, shit slaps.
And again, it's the fact that he went back and changed the music to AI music. Because again, game
Yeah,
was
that
done
part
years
too.
ago.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Again, that's why I prefaced earlier. That's why we had a little bit of a story. We were talking about this game 8 years ago.
Which is ridiculous, though, because like if you're gonna update it to some shit that slaps.
Right.
I don't know. I'm genuinely curious. Like you might have sold me on the game. I'll see it on a Steam sale. Because I'm sure it's a fine game, but
It's fascinating.
I'm
it
sure
is
I'm
a
probably gonna like
wild
it because
fucking
I'm
journey.
looking at it. It reminds me a little bit of Helix.
Yes, it is kind of like, honestly, again, without overplaying the cards a little bit, it's kind of like if Helix and the Beginner's Guide were merged together to make a 90-hour RPG.
You got me hard and soft at the same time. That's crazy. Helix and Hylix.
Hylix and the Beginner's Guide, in terms of thematics and tone.
A
if you
surreal
combine
The
those-
Beginner's Guide is literally like the most like orgasmic thing I've ever heard of. And 90-hour RPG deflated the fuck out of me, but we may try still.
I have the most confused boner right now.
I fuck with I'm putting Hylix on to the list that we were talking about because I don't know, Hylix, I still fuck with that game so much. I kind of want to play it again. It's been so long. It's been so long since Hylix has happened. Kels, have you heard of Hylix?
I have not. I have no clue what the fuck that is.
I really wanted to like that game.
I think Chris was our biggest naysayer on it, wasn't he?
I think I actually was. Because my biggest frustration was it was an RPG that didn't want you to play it.
I know, no, Gordon didn't want to play it at all, though.
I don't think he wanted to play it at all, but I remember him, once he did play it, I think he said that he really enjoyed the music and the visuals.
Yeah, that doesn't mean much, though.
Fair. But no, I know I was super against it because I went into it wanting to like it because it screamed a lot of things I enjoy. But my biggest issue was the fact that it's an RPG that penalizes you for playing it as an RPG.
I wonder if the sequel fixed that.
I've heard that the sequel is a lot better, but also a lot more obtuse at the same time. So I'm fascinated. I kind of do want to play the sequel at some point, but
yeah, man, I love surrealism, and I love very personal stories. I wish they didn't fuck around and went balls out with the fucking boss music. Because I don't know, like, again, Suno is funny. Let me see. I was literally using it. Was it last night? Let me see. Let's see my songs. Yeah, I decided to make a pop punk song about the history of DSP last night, and it came up with the King of Snort Villa, which is funny to me. Like, but this is like. It's just the most generic stuff though. Like, it's the point though, right? Is that AI is generic schlock,
Super generic schlock. Yeah.
which it sounds nice because that's generic, I guess. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I'd give it a try, David. I don't want to dismiss. I think it's unfair to dismiss multiple years of work just on one bad or poor decision. I just think it's unfortunate wasted potential.
Yeah, and that's where because again, you guys know me. Usually, I am morally gray unless there's something that usually crosses one of my few moral absolutisms, and AI tends to be one of those moral absolutisms.
I took a training at work, actually, which was all based on AI because I was just curious as to how that training would go. And I mean, I'm still gonna say is that, which is it's so funny because if you think of it in an ironic sense, it's kind of funny. But AI just makes teacher life so much easier because there's so much fucking paperwork and bullshit they make us do. Like, oh, make all these lesson plans and make them all detailed. Oh, here, do this, do that, and then you say that shit to Chat GPT and it'll make that shit for you. It's like, cool, thank God I can go do my actual job now instead of having to appease everyone else.
And those are instances where I don't mind it. When you are feeding it your own generated content and saying, all right, do something with my own content, fine, perfect. I have no issue with that.
Or I don't know about creatively. I'd have to think about it for a little bit longer, and I'm not gonna right now. But I wouldn't mind prompts to help get your brain going. So like, I wouldn't mind, like, I have typed in give me questions based off Firewatch for class at this grade at this sort of level, in which case I'll go in and look through the questions and I modify the questions as needed. Just to
that I don't mind as much either, because that's no different than just going to Google and searching through like Yahoo Answers to get ideas of what fucking
I don't mind them for again, if it's practicality for ease of life later, aside from academics, right, which is ridiculous to me. I know they're rage bait, but I would see some people post like why would I write an essay when I could just AI search it right now? Because the whole point of the fucking essay is to gauge whether or not you got the content, right? Whereas, like, the teacher already knows the content. So if I ask ChatGPT, produce 20 questions based on Firewatch, the kids answer it, I will guide them through mastery of the knowledge still. Like, my job doesn't just start and end at the questions, right? Whereas if people cheat on academics, that's different because you don't show mastery of it. If people use it for creativity, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. Like, it's the whole point is to make it ease of access to allow for creativity. That's where I'm at with that. That was a beefy sized podcast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look at us go. All 30 frames of us.
As 720p.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
the way God intended.
I hope by next weekend or next week, this background will look solid and about where it should be with appropriate lighting. But until then, thank you for tuning in to the Blue Rivers Podcast, episode number 280. Stay tuned for more stuff. I don't know why I added that. David, send us out.
Hell yeah. Never forget to tuckle your butthole.
And tip your waiters.
Tip your butthole.